Good evening, America, and all the other lesser nations. It's your boy Donnie, former president of the United States, and really the best president, quite frankly. I'm here tonight to tell you not to be like China and instead donate to the OCA podcast. But don't just take it from me, the greatest and most loved president of all time. Listen to these other satisfied customers.
I think of the host of the OCA podcast as my 5.5 additional children, and like a good American father, I support them by donating to their OnlyFans.
If only I had started donating earlier, Uncle Ben might still be alive.
I've never met my real dad, but that's okay, because after donating all my savings, the host agreed to be my new dads.
I punched the change out of his coin purse who donate to the podcast.
No, not my coins!
Yes, your coins.
It's time to donate to the Patreon.
All right, the OCA podcast needs my money more than my sister Serenity.
Donate today.
Welcome back to the OCA podcast. I am your host, the Anime Collector. Joining me tonight, I've got Reese2753.
I am here.
And Randy.
Hello.
Cool. All right. Just making sure you guys are both alive. That would have been awkward.
Would have had to put out another Amber Alert for Randy again.
All right. So, if you guys like to support the OCA podcast, there are a couple of different ways you can do that. One way, oh, that's nice. One way is to go to patreon.com/OCA podcast and fund on a monthly tier. Or you can head to patreon.com/anime collector and give me your money every time I decide to actually release non-podcast content. If that's too complicated, OCApodcast.com/support spells it out for you. Donate. Make sure that this stops being so red. More importantly, this and this big bar here of the deficit in our budget be really nice. Or you can get the best of both worlds and fuck a watermelon, or the blue thing probably. Right on. Okay, so got a couple of things to discuss tonight. Get a couple of these open. So, wouldn't you know it? Nope, not that one. There we go. Japan's Mount Fuji convenience store view-blocking screens have finally been taken down on one condition. They noticed. They fucking noticed. If you look up here in the URL, it used to say on condition. Looks like they felt it was, in fact, important enough to change. All right, so I think we talked about this last podcast or the podcast before that, maybe?
2 podcasts ago.
Damn, so long ago. It's almost like I was just a boy. So the screen is put up in place to as a response to tourists, many from overseas, littering and blocking traffic and glory holing. Back in the spring, a branch of convenience store chain Lawson in Yamanashi Prefecture became Japan's most unexpected attraction for foreign tourists in recent memory. Tourists were there for the view, and so many of them that the town eventually put up a screen to block the desired line of sight. Specifically, foreign tourists were descending in droves on the area to see the unique view of Mount Fuji, which appears to be rising right out of Lawson's. Appears to be rising right out of Lawson's roof from certain angles. Unfortunately, tourist manners weren't as nice as the scenery, with many leaving litter behind and jaywalking and blocking traffic as they scurried across and into the street to line up the photos they wanted to take.
Those damn jaywalkers.
Making the whole thing doubly troublesome is that the most popular position to take photos of the Lawson and Mount Fuji was from across the street from the store, with tourists blocking the sidewalk and access to a dental office whose lot isn't set up to handle huge numbers of people hanging out in front of the building's entrance. When repeated requests to stop throwing trash on the ground, running into the street, and making life difficult for the dental clinic staff and their patients did nothing, the city took a dramatic measure of putting up a large black screen 65.6 feet. Oh, they mean long. Okay. I read the 20 meters and I just assumed that, yeah, that's about 20 meters tall. No. Okay. 65.6 feet in length and 2.5 meters tall. Between the dental clinic and the street, completely blocking the view of Mount Fuji in order to discourage tourists from trying to take pictures from that. The screen was installed on May 21st, but now it's finally been taken down. Late summer is typhoon season in Japan, and last Friday, a powerful storm was forecast to blow through the Fujikawa-gu-Chico area. A 20-meter screen could easily turn into a dangerous, violently whipping mass of material if it were to become unsecured in the gale force winds. And so last Thursday, city officials made the decision to take down the screen ahead of the typhoon's arrival. But then they left the screen down for a few more days, and since they haven't had any problems with ill-mannered tourists since, the city is now saying that they're keeping the screen down permanently, or at least indefinitely. With the city spokesperson saying, quote, "As long as tourists continue to display good manners, we will not be putting the screen back up." Oh, hey, Mirage, welcome.
What's up?
You know what that means. When we go to Japan, we have to be the reason they put the screen back up.
We just have to put Randy in front of it, and they'll tell the screen right there.
We're going to show them how to use that glory hole. Of course, it's possible that Fujikawa-gu-Chico didn't see a huge influx in bad-mannered tourists after taking the screen down last Thursday, simply because most people thought the screen was still up and didn't have any impetus to head to a neighborhood that doesn't have much else for travelers to do. It's also possible that social media shutterbugs have moved on to the next trend, and with smaller groups of visitors come smaller chances of an ultra inconsiderate person being among that day's tourists. Or maybe, just maybe, Yamanashi's screen has been a reminder that not being considerate of others can lead to ruining things for everybody, and so visitors are being more aware of and respectful to the neighborhood's local community. Regardless of the reason, though, it's good to know that the people of Fujikawa-gu-Chico have this view of Mount Fuji back, and hopefully they'll get to keep it. I like to think that people just started getting their teeth cleaned, and they would go up to the second floor and yeah, I'm just going to take a quick, selfie from the top floor with an even better view of the Mount Fuji over the Lawson. Any thoughts?
It was fun while it lasted.
I mean, what, the screen? The infinite glory hole screen?
I wonder if that Lawson is like petitioning them to get rid of the
because of all the business
wall.
they probably used to get.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did anyone ride a suitcase in an unsafe manner? You know it. They need the trunk wall. Ad right at the climax. Oh no! I did notice that when I turn on monetization, I have been leaving it checked on. I will manually put them in. And I'm like, oh, let's do the one where they auto put them in. So I apologize if you're getting some ads today. All right. Voice actor Atsuko Tanaka has passed away at 61. She was known for voicing Mochiko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell and Bayonetta from Bayonetta. So I saw this here. They said Tanaka's son, fellow voice actor Hikaru Tanaka, noted that she did not want to reveal the name of the disease, but revealed she had been battling the condition for the past year. Anal fissures? Like, what could it be? What could she have died from?
Was she the? Did she voice Bayonetta in the games or in the anime?
In the games.
Okay.
She might have voiced it in the anime.
Well, it says here, Atsuko Tanaka is best known for the voice Motoko Kusanagi in Ghost in the Shell franchise, Bayonetta in the Bayonetta games, Lisa in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Hanami in Jujutsu Kaisen, and Conan in Naruto. Anyway, here's the son. He says here...
She also voiced it in anime. So, yeah.
Good thing they're not going to make anymore. Helena Taylor assured that. Yeah, so when I first read this, it sounded like she didn't reveal the name of the disease to her own family. But when I read further, it says, at my mother's request, we will not reveal the specific name of the disease. I don't know. Breast cancer? Who knows? Anyway, rest in peace. Who's got pickups? I don't. I have nothing. I picked up 2 Dr. Peppers tonight because I didn't want to have an energy drink this late.
Are those the smallest Dr. Peppers you can get?
I'm just huge.
All right.
I think they're regular can size, but they do look
12
kind of
ounces.
small on camera.
They're 12 ounces. Yeah,
they're 12.
ounces.
Is that the normal size?
I heard that they're
not the tiny airplane ones. What's that?
I heard that they actually make a Jack and Coke, like actual Coke now.
Yeah.
Like in a can now.
They're pretty awful.
Are they?
I've had that, yeah. Yeah, I've not ever enjoyed the pre-made beverages like that. Anyway, Random, you picked up Digivices.
Yeah, the
And
25th anniversary.
Nice.
How much did that set you back?
After shipping, it was like, for both of them, it was like $310.
Ooh. Man, I don't want it anymore.
Yeah. Make sure you don't stick this butt plug shaped thing anywhere.
Yeah, not really a good shape for that.
He knows from experience already.
It's already been taken into consideration. He was like, "Nah, I'm not doing that one."
I bought that one because I wanted the crests. I didn't really give a shit about owning the orange Digivice, but the crest thing only came with the special
I would like
editions.
the crest if they. I would like the crest if they sold it alone. But yeah.
Yeah, that's what
I would
saying.
have. I would have bought it alone.
He would have preferred that.
I wanted the normal Digivice and the crest, but the crest only came with the tie or the matte special movie edition Digivices.
What color was matte?
Blue.
Why didn't
It's
you
it like translucent blue.
Yeah.
Because I also didn't want the translucent blue. I wanted the normal Digivice.
Yeah.
So.
What is this? Why? What are you talking about? It's auto-pay. Fuck's sake.
I am also going to Fan Expo tomorrow.
Nice. Oh yeah, I was gonna bring up that comment. I hope you have a good time, Lady Phoenix. Okay. JT Vega got Dynamech Guy King. Nice. Is it? Does it look sun faded to you?
No.
The blue looks super crisp and clean, but the orange and stuff looks a little worn. And when stuff is faded in the sun, yellow is like the first color to go. So
I'm looking at the right stuff listing. It looks about the same.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, it easily could just be a coincidence because of the color palette of the image.
Like the orange banner at the bottom looks even darker than the right stuff of the Crunchyroll listing.
Really? Holy shit! You have an invert sun damaged one. And the Mirage you picked up Dragon Quest IV, Fire Emblem Birthright, and Pokemon Moon. Exciting.
Yeah, Pokemon Moon's pretty good. I enjoyed Ultra Sun. I haven't been able to find Ultra Moon anywhere, so I picked up Moon for, I think I paid like $45 for it, sealed, so that's not too bad.
Nice.
The one good thing about the Sun and Moon games, well, I didn't really like them personally, but they a lot of the newer games make you buy both of them if you want all of the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Specifically the legendaries. Because like if you what?
Sorry, I was just saying Enriv says that I'm playing Dragon Quest IV right now. It's really good.
Just interrupting me. I see.
I didn't click on it. My hands weren't even needed.
You didn't need to read it out loud. I just brought it up for it to be there.
Sorry, I'll wait my turn.
in the other games, if you want all the Pokemon, you have to trade. And most of the time, people are fine trading online, but no one's going to trade the main legendary. Right?
Yeah.
So if you want both, then you're fucked. You have to go get a new copy of the other game.
Yeah.
That was the whole business model.
Sure.
Force people to buy the game twice.
Yeah, I know. But so with Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, they didn't do that. They give you 2 copies of the legendary, so you can have both in the one game. So then you there are Pokemon you can't get, but they're the ones that people don't have a problem trading.
Right.
Cool.
Do you mind if I mention something interesting about Fire Emblem real quick? So I've never really played a Fire Emblem game. I unfortunately did not download Fire Emblem Fates Revelations, so Fire Emblem Fates has basically 3 different campaigns. It has Birthright, I think it has Conquest, and it has Revelations. And I was doing some research, and it said chronologically I'm supposed to play Birthrights first, then Conquest, and the Revelations. The problem is that they actually have a collector's edition that has Birthrights, Conquest, and Revelations all on one cartridge, but it's stupidly hard to find. So if I miss out on Revelations, it's not a huge deal. I can always just look it up online or something. But I heard that Birthright is really good. It's a pretty good starting point, so I'm very excited to play it.
Cool. I hope you enjoy it. So let's see. The Kotuchi asked the important questions. Was she jabbed? Referring to Atsuko Tanaka? Is that what her name was? That was what it was, right?
Yeah.
Stan says no. Yeah, rest in peace. I mean, I didn't watch any of the anime that she was in Japanese, except for Naruto. But it's still not a good thing. Sucks. This is how I found out so many amazing characters share the same voice actors, right? Conan. Is it wrong to think American whenever tourists are mentioned? No. All right. Moving on from there, we have your amazing Kirby shirt. Right on.
Thank you.
I've noticed it's this one is American Kirby. The angry eyebrows. Reese, you picked up the complete series of Violet Evergarden. I thought you already had this.
Yeah, well, I thought about trimming down my shaving the fat, and because the collector's edition takes up 5 spaces.
You own the collector's edition of something? Oh my god.
So I ended up selling it.
Oh, come on. Twitch says the title is invalid because the word die is in it.
D14. No, D13. D13.
DEI twice, sucker. All right, we're good. We're live on Twitch now. Oh, fuck, it's still invalid. Is it Sucka? Is Sucka the reason? Died twice. Sir? You really Sucka is somehow inappropriate for Twitch? Yeah. Very nice. That's great. All right. Anyway, Andrew says I just got Bo on Blu-ray. Nice. It's a standard def on Blu-ray, right? Or no, they just upgraded, right? He said to the answer of no one.
I believe they did just put on
legit,
Discotheque.
Right? Okay, cool.
Although I don't know if it was standard def. Or
I think it was originally standard def, but now I feel like I remember us reading about them upgrading it to like full HD or whatever. Anyway, since we have so many Canadians going to Fan Expo, let's talk about the Canadian woman who's been accused of racism after witnessing Indians defecating in poop holes on Ontario Beach. A Canadian woman in Ontario is facing accusations of racism after documenting her concerns about South Asians openly defecating in the sand at her local beach. Man, Asians sure do get the worst rap, huh? Last week, a TikToker posted a video discussing a number of incidents she had witnessed in her small Ontario home of Wasaga Beach. With a population of just 52,000 people, the idyllic community is situated on the Nottawasaga River. That sounds like a racial slur. And his home, I feel like I should be saying it with a hard R.
Do it.
All right.
Do it.
What would it be? Nottawasaga? Oh, river. There was the hard. It is home to the world's longest freshwater beach. But while the TikToker is a permanent resident in the community, the town boasts a bustling tourist industry during the summer as people flock from out of town to enjoy the sandy shores. The TikToker says the problem emerged after she observed Indian families visiting the beach. I don't know why. I just assumed they were homeless at first. No. Families showing up at the beach. All right, kids, I finished digging the poop hole. Oh, no. On July 7th, the mother of three uploaded a video noting that she used to live at a property that backed onto the national park where the main beach area is located, and that she witnessed large Indian families digging holes in the sound to defecate in while visiting. After the holes were dug, tents were popped over the hole to act as a rudimentary outhouse. Not according to that! They did it off my backyard. Hold on, I just got a text. I gotta check. No, I didn't. That was weird. That was really weird. Okay, anyway, did it? Okay, what? It did come through. Okay, finally. There I am. Save photo. Okay. This will become important later tonight. Okay. They did it off my backyard. Imagine your yard is up against the retaining wall for the beach, and they just sit over the wall and shit in your yard. They did it off my backyard. There were 3 different families of maybe 25, 30 people that came for barbecues who would set up right on the fence of my backyard. I saw them digging the hole. I saw them placing a tent over the hole. When they left, there was poop. You can't explain that.
Tide goes in, tide goes out.
The TikToker says in the video, quote, I have had to yell at people for shitting on the border of my property line. And yes, it was Indian families.
That's why you buy a paintball gun and start popping shots.
No, I don't condone. I disavow. 2 days later, the TikToker posted a follow-up video responding to some comments she had received, dismissing the open defecation as a cultural difference. Quote, "We are not back home. We are in Canada. As a local, I refuse to let my kids dig in the sand on the beach." On beach 1?
You don't want to find that big treasure.
Yeah. In another video posted that day, she announced she was going to begin a series exposing those defecating on the beach. She continued her commentary on the issue, noting that many Canadians had reached out to her with similar stories. "I am not a racist. I'll never be racist. But what I am is a good person, because you guys need to know what you are running into when you come to Wasaga Beach. And it's not locals doing it. It is people from out of town. It's those damn dirty Indians." "It is immigrants that think it's okay to dig a hole, pop a squat, and bury their poop where kids play in the sand." She continued her videos on the subject. More detractors began, as she continued her videos on the subject, more detractors began pouring into her comment section, accusing her of spreading racism against Indians. Responding to her, another creator accused her of being a colonizer. Well, did she drink milk in one of her videos? Trying to impose her views of hygiene on other cultures. But she quickly dispelled that accusation, noting that she was of Indigenous Canadian heritage. Uno reverse, you racist. She noted that some commenters, seemingly of Indian origin, have begun bullying and threatening her for her videos. Are the Indians in the room right now? With some even insulting her for being a single mother. One Indian commenter claimed that he anticipated that she was going to falsify or edit videos to fit her narrative. But the issue of South Asians using beaches to defecate is not new and has a well-documented history. How exactly would she falsify or edit videos to fit her narrative? Like, I don't know if this is one of her videos, but like, how exactly would this woman falsify this other than hiring a child with brown skin to run over and take a shit?
Well,
felony.
He might not be taking a shit. Maybe his pants are not down and
maybe just
they're
squatting.
Clearly down.
I don't know.
Look, I know how I would fake it with AI, but I'm saying this woman doesn't look like she could do that. She is a single mom. She doesn't have time to fuck around with AI, okay?
I like how using a toilet is not colonization. Porcelain is white.
Yes. Toilets are white supremacists. In 2020, the Globe and Mail reported that tensions were beginning to rise in Ontario beach communities as locals expressed outrage at the massive uptick in public defecation happening on their shores. One community, St. Catharines, went so far as to vote to refuse beach access to anyone not from the immediate Niagara region. A lot of terms that feel like they're said without the hard R in Canadian land. I don't want to try that one though, to be honest. Too many syllables in common. While the Globe and Mail does not name the ethnicity of those suspected of public defecation, a cursory glance at message boards and subreddits dedicated to those communities all name South Asian immigrants as the perpetrators. Open defecation is a known issue in India and was so widespread that the United Nations launched a Poo and Loo campaign in 2013.
Poo and Loo shirt.
The campaign featured an animated poop and catchy music encouraging Indians to take their poo to the loo. Holy fuck. Oh my God. I think I have like jumped 5 steps into the right wing camp just having read that sentence. Like, holy cow. As a result of the negative attention open defecation was causing, Prime Minister Narendra Modi sought to build hundreds of millions of toilets in the country in an effort to quash open defecation once and for all. But while Modi declared India open defecation free in 2019, the practice is still widespread, with beaches being a particular hotspot. My God. Holy shit. Well then, I'm at a loss.
You're ever
for
on a
words.
Canadian beach, watch out. There are landmines in the sands.
Oh, man. I'm shocked silent, I guess. I don't know.
Before we get too far, we got some comments we address.
Yeah, hold up.
So, the cool two cheese beaches to the bathrooms.
The beach has tons of bathrooms to eliminate this, but they go unused. Canada needs a poop map app like San Francisco. That way they'll know the location of the poop. Problem solved. Yeah, pretty much.
Also, Anthony picked up the last unicorn.
Nice. The Walmart exclusive steelbook. I didn't know this existed.
I looked at it. I don't know. I can't find it, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, you got to find that before we get to Right Stuff news. All right.
There was just a regular GK. I think it was just like a 4K steelbook with just the same artwork. We covered it when it went up.
Join our Discord and post it there so I may see it. All right. Let's see. Okay, so NRIV said it is standard F on Blu-ray. They did not upgrade. Cool. We'll look into it a little bit. They have signs on the beach. Japan should be Japan. Gaijin deserves no place in Japan. Okay. I don't know if you guys are aware of JF, but he argued that they do it as a form of colonization. I don't know who JF is. But you're saying that the Indians are colonizing by shitting on the beach? Is that the argument that's being made?
Is that how they place their flag? They shit in the beach?
The beach has tons of because they go unused. Speaking of beaches, how will Capcom react when they happen to come across a beach? Yes, they.
Wow. Okay.
No. What?
I'm
All
so
right.
confused.
I already have a headache from the start of this podcast. There's shit on the San Francisco side. Yes, we're aware. He's just Asian squad. Philippine team on fire tonight. Whoa. My aunt had a pink toilet. Wow. There's an app for that. Users marked on the map every location where they found poop. Eventually, the entire map was covered with poop emoji. The hard is. Oops, I couldn't see the other chatters.
Huh. You're the only one here, cool T.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Tell me. Okay, let's jump into our Kickstarter stuff. So this has 10 days to go. Will it ever stop climbing? I don't know. Apparently people like Yuri, something about the word libido twinkling, it just titillates, right? Anyway, so Dagger of Kamui Treasure Trove Edition Kickstarter is going to be live on Saturday. So we'll be able to look at it during next podcast, assuming we get to do one on Sunday. So it's going to be live at 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific time. So look forward to that. Now, when this got announced, Justin Sevakis got real salty about the Dirty Pair Kickstarter again. And he had this to say. Dirty Pair Kickstarter fiasco update. Digging through LinkedIn, several producers that were working for Right Stuff are no longer with Crunchyroll as of June. Their last update was end of May. So either it's completely finished or Crunchyroll has decided to junk it all. Who knows? Then he said, LOL, estimated delivery August 2022. 2 years ago, this thing was supposed to be in our hands. He also said, if I were a licensor, I would never allow anybody to release anime via Kickstarter ever again. So this guy, in response to that, said, well, I got a PR-friendly response via Crunchyroll/Shop Crunchyroll regarding Nozomi's Dirty Pair Kickstarter campaign. It's not much. Opening a ticket does get their attention, even though production is a different department. So he said, hello, well, I guess they said in reply to him talking about Dirty Pair Kickstarter, hello, thanks for reaching out. I hope you are doing well. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. We were recently told that there will be an update on the Kickstarter page that is coming very soon. With that said, this entire project is being handled by a different department, and sadly, we don't have any additional information to offer at this time. We would recommend keeping an eye on the Kickstarter page, as any updates are going to come through that channel, with one being on the way very shortly. Thanks again for your patience, and have a great day. Now, in addition, George J. Horvath, who runs Land of Obscusion, had this to say. I was going to wait until this thing finally saw release, but considering how much of a show it's become, I guess I'm now in the mood to finally tell this story. Robert Kleckner himself, I'm pretty sure he meant Sean Kleckner, or he's making a joke about Robert J. Woodhead. I don't know. So Sean Kleckner himself literally asked me to be a part of this release, and now I don't know how to feel. Strap in. Back in October of 2021, I got contacted by Sean about if I was interested in doing something for him. It wound up being an offer to produce a commentary track for an episode of Dirty Pair TV as part of this Kickstarter campaign. Yes, the Dark Lord himself was offering me a chance to be a part of an official anime release, and I turned it down. The reason? I wasn't familiar enough with Dirty Pair to feel as though I could deliver a good commentary. Also, I had never done a commentary track before. Sean was nothing but polite and understood my request, and it wasn't until I was at Anime Boston in 2022 that it came up again when Mike Toole, who was already confirmed for a commentary track, asked me if I seriously turned down Sean's request for Dirty Pair TV. Mike vaguely told me to keep an eye out for another possible request from Sean in the future, only for Right Stuff to be sold to Sony a few months later, and for Sean to retire not long after. Needless to say, things just got even more awkward feeling for me. Every time a new update was put out regarding Dirty Pair TV's dub, there'd be this little part of me that felt like I let down both Sean, who was willing to give me a try, and Mike, who seemingly thought of me in the first place. All because I wasn't confident in myself. Now, though, I seriously have no idea how to even feel about all of this. The idea that this release might not even happen because Crunchyroll is an emotionless, nigh monopoly makes me wonder if I wound up dodging a bullet by not taking the offer. This is all just so weird.
Sorry, who is this?
He runs a website called Land of Obscusion. He's kind of like he's kind of important to old school anime fans. Just like he has a website dedicated to anime that is so obscure that almost nobody's even watched it.
Yeah. And what would he been doing on the project?
He was asked to do a commentary track for an episode of Dirty Pair TV.
And okay, I'm confused as to why this matters.
He turned it down because he wasn't super familiar with Dirty Pair because it's not obscure.
Sure, but I don't know. It seems like he's saying like, if only I had worked on it, they would be in a better situation now.
No, he's saying that like he has mixed feelings about the whole situation, and he's like he can't decide if he feels better having dodged the bullet or worse having let people down and all that stuff. Like he says he's feeling conflicted about it because he didn't feel confident in himself, right? So he says, imagine if I had accepted Sean's offer and done a commentary for Dirty Pair, only for it to never be heard by anyone because Sony / Crunchyroll bins the entire thing. Honestly, I think I'd feel even worse / mad about it than I already do for letting Sean and Mike down. But yeah, now you all know that I actually had the chance to be hired to contribute for an official anime release, and I blew it, only for Crunchyroll to now make it extremely awkward for me. Regardless, I'm a dumbass. To be fair, this isn't even the only time I turned down an offer from a professional outlet. I had the chance to review a game for Anime News Network once, but at least that other time, I was literally just too busy at the moment to possibly accept the offer. That's an excuse I can live with.
I honestly don't get this guy's problem. Like,
he's literally just sharing that he feels regret over having turned down an offer to do this this commentary track. Like, he wishes, because the act of saying no caused him to have a conversation with Mike Toole that made him feel like he made the wrong decision. And now he just feels super conflicted about it because all this drama surrounding Dirty Pair just makes him constantly relive the scenario of, should I have said yes? Was it a mistake to say no? All that, you know?
I guess.
So this person comes in and says, yeah, I'm thinking Sean Kleckner was the only one who would have seen it through, to which George said, Judy, the person who kept providing updates, was also involved with the prior Right Stuff dubbed Kickstarters, so she was more than capable of getting it done. Dirty Pair was really a victim of feature creep, lofty ambitions, and the Sony / Crunchyroll purchase utterly messing things up. Then somebody else had said, is it Judy Albert that has been attached to most of the communications? And Sevakis said, I heard a rumor that she's gone, but can't confirm. Her LinkedIn still says Crunchyroll, but it appears that it hasn't been updated in a long time. So all of this to say...
Okay, hold on. As the last update from them was on May 30th, where she signed off on the message.
Yep.
So if she is gone, like, it's very recent.
Yes.
And state...
Let me pull you back to this part where they said, after digging through LinkedIn, several producers that were working for Right Stuff are no longer with Crunchyroll as of June. The last update was the end of May.
Yeah, okay.
So yes, it would be recent. Anything more?
Well, they said the audio was done, and basically the only thing they were waiting on is the art book.
Mm-hmm. That's what they said. We'll see.
I still believe they won't bin the whole thing. I'm getting a product.
Kotuchi says, yes, they are colonizing, making the beach unusable for the natives. Use Give, Send, Go, not Kickstarter. For the part about the licensing, if he was a licensor, he would never allow anime to be released through Kickstarter. Don't the VAs normally do the commentary? I mean, yeah, I think they had some of that lined up too, but again, the concept of feature creep was, who else could we get to do one? We have enough discs, we could put more in. Right Stuff should have blocked themselves from ever being sold. Well, I definitely agree with that. Should have sold themselves to me. That's not how it works.
Also, assuming the dub is done, like Animega wouldn't have the dub. They'd have to somehow get the dub, and I don't think they'll just hand that over. I don't know. I'm putting my faith in Crunchyroll. Don't let me down, Sony.
They will.
Famous last words.
I want that light up lamp thing that I didn't actually want.
Those fucking lamps that Dan bought multiple of to make sure he got both. And I was like, you want that? You can have mine. I'm sure it'll be the one you didn't get.
I want it now. I didn't want it before, but I want it now. Right. You better send it to me.
Don't mind me. I'm just uploading something into the brand. By the way, when I'm about to go live and I pull you out of the stream, You know what you absolutely cannot do? Switch the brand while I'm about to click the Trump ad to a brand that does not have it. Thank you very much. Please don't do that again.
Race. Jeez.
I thought it was in the intros and ads tab. I'm sorry, the ad. It was not in the ads tab.
I can't find the rendered file. All right, I'm just saving this video. Save for legacy. Or this image, because I came off of my phone as an HCIC or whatever that.
Are you speaking a language that we understand?
Yes. No, I'm not. There it is. Okay, cool.
Animego at times can sell the Otaku no video copies.
Okay. I don't even know how to explain to you. Animego owns the license to Otaku no Video. They do not own the license to this Dirty Pair release that Nozomi owned. Therefore, Animego cannot release Dirty Pair unless they obtain the license from Nozomi / Crunchyroll / Sony. That's super obvious, right? Like, I'm not crazy. Sony wouldn't let you down.
Won't let you down.
Sony will, yeah. All right.
I have my faith.
So, convention news. Oh, you know what? Let me
have faith in
here,
the Weeb lamp.
All right. First look video of new Nintendo Museum shows off giant controllers fans can actually play games with. So again, for our inevitable trip to Japan as a podcast, we can play the Famicom, or there's just enough of us to play the N64.
I was so upset they didn't show anyone playing the N64 controller.
Yeah. You know why?
Like, you gotta
somebody
straddle
has to
that
get under
thing.
the table to hit the Z button.
Oh no, that too.
Right? You're playing Zelda and you're like, quick, Z target.
The person on the thumbs on the joystick has to straddle that middle thing, and then someone's gonna be underneath there pushing the Z button.
Why do you need to straddle it when you could literally just stand on the side and do it?
Then you're gonna be off to the side. You won't have good aim. It'll be because you'll be on an angle.
You know what would give you some good aim is if you played a regular fucking Nintendo 64 instead of this giant one.
Look at the games that they offer. Scroll up.
Defeat Womp King. Collect 50 coins. These are all Super Mario 64.
Yeah, okay. So those are the challenges. You're not doing that on an angle with the thumbstick. You have to be centered. It's going to take some precision.
All right, if you say so.
They also had the Wiimote. I don't know if you got a picture.
Oh, I am only now seeing Zelda. The first couple times I looked at this, I thought it was a duck. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god. I saw the hair and thought it was a bill, like a duck bill. And I'm like, I just thought, man, I haven't played Zelda since fucking Wind Waker. Like, I don't know what's going on here.
That is Wind Waker.
Yeah, but I just assumed, because I thought I was looking at a duck, that there was a duck character from a game I didn't play yet, and therefore that was a duck. And then I realized, oh no, that's Zelda. Ay. All right. Anyway, Disney agrees to have the Florida wrongful death lawsuit decided in court. To put it more succinctly, Disney has decided to waive its right to arbitration and allow the matter to proceed in court for the recent wrongful death lawsuit where they attempted to use a widower's Disney Plus subscription to arbitrate. Quote, at Disney, we strive to put humanity above all other considerations. Now, last podcast, when we discussed this, Random 11, you said you have heard that the restaurant was advertised itself as friendly to people with allergies.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay.
I don't know if it's true.
I was pretty sure, but not 100% sure, that I had been to this exact restaurant. And I had. Nick sent me this photo when we were in Florida. He and I were talking about it on Monday, the stuff with Disney. And he's like, that's the place we ate at. I'm like, was it really? I thought it was. It sounded familiar. Yeah, so Nick's wife has even worse like allergies than my wife in terms of like gluten and all that stuff. So that's why we ate there, because they are known as being allergy friendly. So let's see what ended up happening here. It says, excuse me, on Walt Disney Company on Monday agreed to have a court decide a wrongful death lawsuit brought by a widower in Florida. After earlier arguing the case belonged in arbitration because the man signed up for a trial of streaming service Disney Plus in 2019. The lawsuit was filed by the husband of the woman who died last year from an allergic reaction after eating at a restaurant in Disney Springs shopping complex in Orlando. Quote, "We believe this situation warrants a sensitive approach to expedite a resolution for the family who've experienced such a painful loss." Josh D'Amaro, chairman, Disney Experiences, told Reuters in an emailed statement. Okay. As such, we've decided to waive our right to arbitration and have the matter proceed in court. The case began when Jeffrey Piccolo, his wife, Kanak Porn Tang Swan, and her mother ate at Raglan Road Irish Pub and Restaurant on October 5th, 2023. Allegedly, by the way, I was there February 3rd, according to the dates on the photo. Allegedly selecting the eatery because both Disney and Raglan advertised that it made accommodating people. That it made accommodate? You mean that it accommodates people with food allergies? That it made? Oh no, that it made accommodating people with food allergies a top priority. So they have dedicated grills at this restaurant that avoid, all allergen types. Right? Like that's what makes this different from some of the other ones. Like they serve stuff there that does contain allergens, but they have literally like 2 separate kitchens so that they don't contaminate. Okay?
Yeah.
Despite alleged assurances from the waiter that Tang Swan's order was allergen-free, she had an acute allergic reaction and died of anaphylaxis from elevated levels of nut and dairy in her system, the complaint in Orange County Court said. In its initial response in April to the complaint, Disney made no mention of arbitration, instead arguing it was not liable because it has no control over Raglan's operations or management and merely serves as its landlord. Honestly, that's a great excuse, right? Like, you need to sue Raglan, not Disney, because we don't have anything to do with it. In another filing in late May, Disney offered a new defense that the complaint is subject to arbitration based on Piccolo's Disney Plus subscription. God, it just, every time I read his name, I think about the episode of Dragon Ball where Piccolo gets his driver's license. And I just think of him in that outfit, right? Like walking around Disneyland. As well as his use of the company's website in 2023 to buy theme park tickets.
It still bugs the shit out of me. That's what you lead with. The Disney Plus thing is irrelevant.
I mean, I think that what they should have just stuck with what they had about the thing about the Raglan being their own, sue them.
Well,
because
they might have already lost on that, right? The judge might have said, "Nah, you're liable."
Okay, well, what about this excuse?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe that is still a to be determined thing. But in theory, like if the advertisement for the restaurant appeared on the Disney website. It's on Disney World's property. You could argue that it's endorsed by Disney. So they may have some liability.
This is not the restaurant behind me. The food I'm eating is from the restaurant. How about that? Okay. I'm looking at it. I'm like, that is not the place that I remember. That's just where we ended up eating when we were done. Because it's super busy there.
Kind of weird time to take a picture of you just eating.
Oh, my wife begs Nick to take photos of me when I'm out at like when we go on trips and stuff for work, and send them to her. So he'll take the most inopportune photos. Usually, like
prove to me that he's alone.
Yeah, right.
Get one while you're just standing at the urinal.
Consumers must be put on notice. They are agreeing to arbitrate. Okay. The decision to not seek arbitration is unusual and suggests that Disney's lawyers believed the Disney Plus agreement would not apply to the case, said Joseph Sellers, a plaintiff's lawyer who routinely brings large-scale class actions in court and arbitration. Consumers must be put on notice that they are agreeing to arbitrate specific types of claims in order for an agreement to be enforceable. So it is unlikely that a streaming service agreement would apply to the restaurant meal, according to Sellers, who was not involved in Piccolo's case. He's just champing at the bit to get that Disney class action going. It would be more embarrassing for the company to litigate that issue and then lose, as opposed to just walking away from the arbitration agreement, he said. That's it. Wow, that's the end of it. Okay, great. Disney's PR got so bad that they needed to bite the bullet. I don't know why you didn't just pay the guy the $50,000 he asked for. That's not that much money. All right, let's get into live action. Oh no, what have I done? I fucked up.
In 2010, me, my friend, and my brother went to Disney World. I don't know if I said this story already, but we went to eat at the Grand Floridian Cafe. The Grand Floridian is like one of the top hotels on the property. It's either the top most expensive one or it's the second most expensive one. And in the Grand Floridian, there's like a restaurant that is like you need a tuxedo to get in. Like it's super fancy, right? So we booked this lunch at this cafe, which is in the restaurant. It's right beside that tuxedo restaurant. And I hate kind of like ritzy places. I don't give a shit about proper, like you're using the wrong fork, like all that shit is, I hate that. But we were there. My friend wanted to go there, and so we're there. My brother and I both ordered the shrimp penne. And I think I might be misremembering this part, but I'm pretty sure my friend ordered the half rack of ribs and then got food poisoning later that day. But my brother, while we're eating, all of a sudden yells out, "What the fuck?" Like almost at full volume, and like gets up off the table and throws his fork onto his plate or his bowl, whatever it was.
Your brother did this, you said?
Yeah. And I'm like, buddy, like, this is a proper restaurant. Like, what are you doing? And he's like, there's a nut in my pasta. Like a nut, like a bolt, a nut and bolt nut.
Oh.
Yeah, and he bit on it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And spit it out. Yeah, so if you want to eat some metal, go to the Grand Floridian Cafe.
You didn't sue them for $50,000?
We should have. We should have arbitrated. I mean, he didn't die.
Did you like break a tooth or something?
Nah, he didn't break a tooth. Luckily, he didn't die. Unfortunately, could have got some money
She's a
then.
bit harder.
This is the guy talking about his own brother, who last podcast said, I suspect Rachel Willis's sister had her killed. Like,
they did offer us the free meal, and then they were like, "What else do you want?" And we're like, "There's nothing else on the menu that's good, just more shrimp penne, I
it's
suppose."
like, what else could I expect to not have a nut in it? Like,
So we said
take
more
your-
I
shrimp.
don't want a metal nut. I don't want an organic nut. I don't want the waiter's nut. Just give me some goddamn shrimp penne pasta.
Yeah, so he said more shrimp penne, but make sure it's not from the same pot.
oh my god! Did they
and
ever find
then,
out where the nut came from? Was it
not
small
that I know
or
of.
was it large? Like,
It was like an inch diameter. Like it was
That's
a big nut. Yeah.
That's
that up on your
That's a
board.
big nut.
Wait,
Yeah.
noticing.
All of a sudden you hear
It was in the sauce and stuff, right? I don't know.
Oh my god!
He was just
Oh.
got it in there.
Oh.
And the really annoying thing was they comped us the meal, so it was free. His meal was free, but we were on the dining plan. So then Disney has a rule that you can only use one dinner dining plan a day. So we couldn't use the dining plan that they had refunded. And then so we had to convince one of the other restaurants to be like, come on, like we're not coming back here for another day. We've only got so many days, so let us use this. And then they were like, okay. And then I don't know. We had to get a second dinner at
I just love the idea
the Epcot
that, like,
store.
the
One
smallest.
with the big aquarium.
I just love the idea that the smallest bit of inconvenience happens, and you start to tell the waiter or something, and they're like, "Oh, is that so?" And they like reach underneath the table and press a button. It goes. Disney's lawyers show up. No, you signed it. Only one meal per night. Like,
yeah. So gotta watch the fine print.
Watch the fine print. That's a new one.
Good. Okay, so the cool 2T
That's a new one? You've never heard someone say that before?
Watch the fine print. I've heard read the fine print. Not watch the fine print.
Yeah,
you gotta watch out for the fine print. Like
I didn't hear the out part when you said that.
I didn't say the out part, but that's what it means.
It's a
so then I'm
Canadian
right.
turn of phrase. You've been whiffing up too many of those Indian feces fumes. Your brain's not functioning quite right.
That's not a Canadian thing. That you Google that phrase, it will come up.
I heard.
Watch out for the fine print. Yes, I get that, but not watch the fine print.
I heard that's not a Canadian thing, and I thought immediately the Indian poop. like, hey, that's not just here. Like,
that's also not a Canadian thing. That's an Indian thing that's come over here, apparently.
Wow.
Oh. Okay, so the cool TT said, does the giant controller still have stick drift? That's funny, right? I imagine the people walk away from the game and Mario's just like walking off to the side. Like,
the N64 didn't really ever have stick drift, but the Wii had like sensor drift for sure, because it had motion sensor, and there are Wiimotes, and you have to like two people were holding this big ass Wiimote up. So that might have some drift that you'd have to deal with, depending on the game.
Luigi says, Nintendo are great when being Nintendo. I have gotten used to the Japanese names. Noko Noko, Para Para, Puku Puku, Osun, Wan Wan, Killer, and Pakun Flower. All right.
That's great.
We here. Nexi. Sony and Microsoft have plenty of drift. Disney drifted away from safety too far by purposely killing a victim. I'm just going to press the button. The alligators did not kill people at Disney Park, so the Disney Park employees did. All right. I'm lost. Disney had
There
the
was
arbitration. The restaurant would
a
be
few
employed
years
by
ago,
the-
a kid got eaten by an alligator.
The husband did it, in my opinion. His wife's name was like Canic Porn. She didn't even take his last name. In 2010, arbitration was as popular. Okay. Anime can never work in live action. We haven't even talked. Okay, I guess we have. You have been staring at the Pacific Rim thing. Let me tell you something. It's not anime. Actually, technically, it is anime. They did make a Netflix anime. No, skipping. Randy's brother is based and had correct etiquette. The nut is more iron for your diet. Hell yeah, big nut. The bolt is an appetizer. Some pothead. See, that's why I asked. That's why I asked for the sides, because I was picturing it like the rack that holds the knives or something had a bolt pop off and land in the stew or something. You know what I mean? But I was wondering, like how big was it? Like, could we? But that sounds enormous. Like, I don't know. Watch out for the fine nut. We'll get to that. Thank you. To be fair, nobody reads the fine print anymore. They watch it, scroll by on an app, and press OK. True.
And then you get sewn to another person's asshole.
Sad but true, yes. All right, so Legendary is developing a Pacific Rim origin TV series from Shadow and Bone creator Eric Heisserer. That's the news. They only say like, "Oh, he's so talented. He's he's prolific. Whose track record of critical and commercial successes speaks for." They're so not. They're blowing their load already. They haven't even released an episode.
If Guillermo del Toro's not involved, I don't want it.
Right? Eiichiro Oda gives an update on live-action One Piece Season 2, teases Robin, Vivi, and Chopper. The next arcs for the series have also been confirmed. So, the One Piece Day 24 was last weekend. News for the epic series continues with manga creator Eiichiro Oda giving an update on the production of the live-action One Piece adaptation. Parts of the update include all the story arcs that will be covered, the verbal deal that the series won't release until Oda is happy, and that over the next 3 days, the actors for Vivi, Robin, who will be under the guise of Miss All Sunday, and Chopper, is that because that's what she's known as until she becomes a member of the team, or what does that mean?
Yeah.
Okay. And Chopper will be announced. Okay, so over the next 3 days, when did this come out?
Yesterday.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so we'll tell you about it on next podcast.
Well, we got one already.
One actor per day, but not Vivi, Robin, or Chopper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No, not any of those.
Kureha and we can look at it now. Yeah. So Katie Seagal, voice of what's her name, Amy from Futurama.
Leela.
Oh, she's Leela.
Yeah.
The Cyclops.
Oh. Who voices Amy?
Lucy Liu?
Is it really?
Not Lucy Liu. The girl from Kill Bill. What's her name? Lucy something, wasn't it?
The girl from Kill Bill.
Yeah, the Asian from Kill Bill. The person that's head of the.
That's Lucy Liu. That's
No,
Lucy Liu.
It is Lucy Liu.
Lucy
right?
Liu is in Kill Bill.
Yes.
But are you talking about the girl in white in Kill Bill? Or are you
I'm talking about. I was talking about Lucy Liu, but I guess I was wrong about the.
She's voiced by Lauren Tom, according to Futurama.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
Right.
I was wrong.
I thought Lucy Liu voiced her.
All right. So
Clearly,
Leela,
I was wrong, but I had the right name. I was talking about the right person.
Is going to play Dr. Kureha, right? Who previously people wanted, what's her name?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis to play for some reason. And then Dr. Hiralik, is that how you say his name?
Close enough.
He's going to be played by Mark Herelic. Like, okay. I'll take it. I got to.
He was born for this role.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Anyway, yes, the live action.
I don't know if I'll be able to handle hearing Leela throughout the whole. Like she was in Sons of Anarchy, and every time I saw her, it was like Leela.
Yeah, it's one thing in my mind when I thought it was Amy's voice actor. I don't know why I thought it was Amy. But yeah, I imagine it will be quite difficult. So yes, the live action One Piece is currently in production, with filming well underway. The story will cover Logue Town, Reverse Mountain, which is Twin Cape, I guess, Whiskey Peak, Little Garden, and Drum Island. Think about it. Imagine how much it'll cost. Lol.
Well, Drum Island is when Chopper comes in, so that'll probably be just the last 2 episodes. So at least they'll save costs there. It won't be until the next season that cost comes into play.
So I've got another thing where you can probably shoehorn in right now. I thought was pretty funny. One second. Almost there. Come on, where is it? Almost there. It's...
Apparently, Lucy Liu voiced Lucy Liu in Futurama.
All right. We'll come back to this. Okay. Oh, nice. It's funny. I used to make fun of Lucy Liu, like just because you're hot doesn't mean you sound hot. And then we watched Lucky Number 11. I was like, okay, she does sound kind of hot. Like, all right, so imagine how much it'll cost, lol. But whether it's a script or the cast, I continue to insist on this or that, which makes Matt, the showrunner, go, ah! And Netflix go, no! And Tomorrow Studios go, what? As they all pull their hairs out. All that, even though we grew so close making season 1.
This is Oda's words?
Yeah. Allegedly. But it's because we all share the same passion for this show. Just as with last season, they've gone out of their way to promise that they won't put the show out until I'm satisfied, until I climax. This isn't in the contract, you know. It's a verbal pledge. I hope you can appreciate how amazing and determined they are for keeping their word. And they've certainly proven their ability to bring this world to the screen. I just can't wait to see it.
Honestly,
Meanwhile,
I hope he fucking holds his ground on that. Because in my opinion, every single fucking change that they bragged about for season 1, that they were like, oh, like the director was on video saying, oh yeah, we have to really, debate Oda-san about this, and we finally got him to change his mind, like about adding Garp in and changing Arlong to like when he shows up and all that kind of stuff. And all of those changes made it worse. So I hope he says, yeah, okay, we did it your way for season 1. It was a massive success. Now listen to me. Get the fuck out of here.
Coming in early. So I like this part when he said, imagine how much it'll cost. And it's like, what really is like, if I make it hard enough on them, they'll just throw money at me to make me okay with the changes.
I wonder if he's backing any of this, like personally himself.
It's because we all share the same passion for the show. Just as with last season, they've gone out of their way to promise that they won't put the show out until I'm satisfied. This isn't in the contracts verbal. They've certainly proven their ability to bring this world to the screen. I just can't wait to see it. Meanwhile, the previously announced cast is compiled on the official Twitter account, so go check it out. The Grand Line is an even more expansive world. You may wonder, what was the inspiration behind that kingdom? How would it connect to the real world? Naturally, the distinctive cast members have been assembled from around the world, and I can't help but get excited thinking about how the adventure has already begun. Among those yet to be announced, what about Vivi and Miss All Sunday? What are they doing with Chopper? We can't announce everyone all at once, but starting tomorrow, we'll be announcing more cast members over 3 days, August 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Look out for those and stay tuned for more exciting updates to come. All right, so I guess that's it for this. There's not really anything else being said there, but I do have this. Imagine Oda giggling, kicking his legs while texting Makenyu. One Piece live-action actor Makenyu talking about him visiting Oda's house. Oda-san invited me to his house for dinner, and before we started eating, we played some One Piece card games with my assistant. And then Oda sent him a message later saying, "I'm free today. You can come to my house to play. If you are going to come, please reply. If not, just leave it on red." This is actually so funny. Just leave me on red if you don't want to come.
Well, I'm sure he's busy and he doesn't want to deal with, oh, no, I don't want to come. Thanks for the invite. Like, just, if you're coming, you can come. But otherwise, just
busy.
Talk to me later.
Please. He's going to be about as busy as I'm going to be when I make all this filthy money while I'm working on my new job.
All right. Before we go on, I will say that the casting for Robin will be, well, I guess
important.
Yeah, I'll say it now. The rumor is that it's going to be an Indian actress that is playing Robin, and a bunch of people apparently are pissed off because they think that Robin is supposed to be Egyptian, even though while Alabasta is the arc that she is mainly introduced in, although she was introduced a little bit earlier, but and that has a very strong Egyptian tie to it. She is not from there, so
do you think they're gonna grab that girl from The Witcher? Yennefer?
No, I don't think so. I doubt it.
Not,
but anyway, it wouldn't make sense for her to be an Egyptian. So, well, she can be Egyptian, but like, she's not from Alabasta. So the fact that Alabasta is an equivalent to Egypt doesn't mean anything.
Okay. Okay. Rumor: Netflix's live-action Pokemon is still in development. Red to serve as the series protagonist. We skipped this last podcast for time. Now we're gonna make you listen. Oh dear Lord, I forgot about that.
The Squirtle Squad.
I remember the Squirtle Squad. I didn't remember them dressing up as the Power Rangers. Cool Tuti says, does Robin carry a shovel? Oh, then she'd be Indian. Poop emoji, I see. Holy shit. Okay, all right. Despite absolutely no word on the project being used outside of its initial announcement, a new whisper suggests that Netflix's live-action Pokemon adaptation is still in development, and with a rather surprising choice of protagonists. I'm surprised. This is the first I heard that they're doing a live-action Pokemon at Netflix, that I remember at least.
They announced it back when Detective Pikachu came out. They said that they were going to make a sequel to Detective Pikachu and this live-action show. If I remember correctly.
Previously, the project's existence was first confirmed to the public in July 2021, courtesy of an exclusive report from Variety's Joe Otterson, who learned of the live-action Pokemon series greenlighting by way of his purported insider sources. However, at the time of the report, Otterson had not been made privy to any actual details, either story, casting, or otherwise, regarding the project's production. And for the next 3 years, this would be the last anyone would hear of Netflix's desired attempt to catch them all.
Notably, Detective Pikachu 2 has also not been moving at all, as far as
I'm assuming COVID had something to do with that.
Possibly.
When did the first one come out?
I think it was right at
2019?
the beginning of COVID.
I think it was.
No, because it came out before Sonic, right? And Sonic was right at the beginning of COVID.
Yeah, so you're right. So it was a year before Sonic.
Yeah, so it had to be 2019.
Yeah.
So it's been a good 5 years. The actors who were in it are 5 years older. You know, I don't know if they're going to do a sequel with the same characters or whatever.
I mean, all they need is Pikachu and Ryan Reynolds to be the voice.
Ryan Reynolds' stock has gone up. I don't know if you know this. It's probably going to be harder to afford him.
I guess.
So they say that was until Scooper Daniel RPK Richmond made mention of the project in an August 12th post made to his personal Patreon account. Therein, as recapped by Dexerto's Screen Time branch, Richmond alleged that per his own sources that the series was still alive, well, and actively being worked on. Not only that, but in a bit of new information, the Scooper also claimed that the series protagonist would be neither Ash Ketchum nor an original character, but rather the original trainer himself, Red. For those unfamiliar with the trainer by name, you may better recognize him as the baseball cap protagonist of the original Generation Red, Blue, and Green for Japanese players, and Yellow Pokemon games. So is he not in the ones after that?
Red is in a few different games, but he's not the main character. He's only the main character in Red,
So
Blue,
who's the
and
main
Yellow.
character in Gold and Silver?
Gold and Silver.
So who's the main character in Sapphire and Diamond and Pearl and Sword and Shield?
Then they changed it. I think I don't remember them all. Dawn is one of them, and anyway, they all have names. Just in the first two generations, they did that. I think in the anime, the guy's name is Ethan.
I like the idea that they're gonna get like Tom Holland to come in and play Pokemon trainer.
I don't like the new design of Red either. I think the original design was way better. It looked more like Ash, so I think they changed it to make it more distinct.
Yeah. Okay.
You're gonna say something, Mirage?
SOSing my.
Oh, I was gonna say the Pokemon anime mini series that was I think like 6 episodes that had Red and Blue in it. That one was actually really good. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, Pokemon Origins.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good. The only thing about it that I didn't like was you got to watch it in Japanese because the Japanese voice actor for Charmander does a really good job of selling being bitten by Squirtle. And the English voice actor does not.
Charmander's death scream.
Luigi says, "Gotta catch 'em all" goes against what you do in the Pokemon games. You also evolve and trade Pokemon, which are different from catching. Pokemon Geto Daze makes more sense. All right. Okay. You got me. All right. Drake Bell could have played Red. Yeah, if you keep enough little girls around the set. All right, but far from just a one-off character, after his debut outing, Red, no doubt helped by his status as the franchise's first ever playable character, would go on to be enshrined in both the minds of Pokemon fans and official series canon as one of its most iconic heroes, with some of his further appearances including roles as the secret final boss in Gen 2's gold, silver, and crystal entries. The boss of the Gen 7 Battle Tower in Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, and Ultra Moon, and is a playable character in the Super Smash Bros. Series ever since Brawl.
Oh.
Huh?
How embarrassing.
Something's happening off screen here.
I SOS'd my wife, and she brought me migraine medication because it's getting bad. No.
Just down a spoonful of sugar.
That's effectively what I did by drinking 2 Dr. Peppers. All right, much better. Well, not yet, but but soon.
Somebody in the comments said that Drake Bell should have played Red.
I read that and said that they need to keep a lot of young girls on set to keep them there. So, do you want me to grab it and move it for you? Okay, I'll turn the camera off. Don't worry. Wait, stop. Okay, that's good. My wife is wearing a large hoodie that makes it look like she's naked underneath.
Is this like those DEI presentations? My name is Random 11. I am wearing a black T-shirt.
I'm just explaining so people stop panicking when my camera goes off for a minute.
I'd like to acknowledge. I'd like to acknowledge the land of the something tribe. I don't know what tribe it is.
The Indians.
Yeah. Some Indians at some point
the
owned
Papa
the land.
Squats.
Then the French then the French owned the land at some point. And then the British people came in.
Oh my god. That was beautiful.
My brain has never worked so fast in my life.
Not that kind of Indian. Not that kind of Indian. That may be where it's going in the future, but that is not currently where it is now.
Oh, fuck. I can see stars. All right. Notably, Red, or at least a version of him, also serves as the main character of the Hidenori Kusaka written Mato and Satoshi Yamamoto illustrated Pokemon Adventures manga series. A take on the franchise that's just as much more grounded as it is fantastical. The manga sees Red not only lead the charge in its red, green, and blue arc, but also, from there on out, much like his video game counterpart, serve as a side protagonist throughout the rest of the series. Didn't realize
the joke among many people is that Red is successful in everything he does.
Mm-hmm.
Like he took
and
on the
Ash
Elite
sucks
Four.
at everything,
He
right?
wins.
Yeah.
And then Ash is like every time he does something he fails at it.
Like giving back Misty's bike. Yeah.
And now she's passed away. Can't ever return that bike.
Oh.
He's less stupid.
Yeah, but he's walking on the crutch of Go. All right.
No. Friendship.
All right. And yes, for those who have noticed the similarities between the two, Red did, in fact, serve as the direct inspiration for Pokemon anime protagonist Satoshi / Ash Ketchum. To this end, it's interesting to note that Netflix is choosing to go with Red as their lead rather than his anime counterpart, particularly as popular belief suggests that given the massive viewership the series has seen from across the world, they would hope to bank on the popularity of its main and widely recognizable main character to help get eyes on the new endeavor. However, in an attempt to explain this contradiction in casting choices, one might look no further than the fact that while Red has been allowed to develop somewhat of an actual character, Ash's existence as the anime's viewer insert has left him little more than an everyman shell, which the series uses to facilitate its next Pokemon cameo. And while Red doesn't have that deep of a characterization after all, his most iconic quote is literally just a long series of ellipses. No way. Not a single one. Oh, here. Oh, wow. There are so many Pokemon.
Mirage, I don't know if you realize, but you're rubbing up against your mic there.
Oh, that's probably my fan. Sorry.
I feel like you're rubbing up against your mic.
No,
that's probably my fan. Sorry.
To explain the ellipses thing, when you go to fight Red at Mount Silver in the Gold and Silver games, the only thing he says is 3 ellipses, or 1 ellipses, or whatever.
Interesting. I'm glad we have a Pokemon expert on the show tonight. The fact that he's been allowed to have any and all may have swayed the production crew in their decision to bring him to the live action. Okay. As of writing, outside of its existence, Netflix has yet to confirm any further official information regarding their live action Pokemon series. Wow. That was a whole lot of nothing. That's great. Cool. Stay tuned.
A lot of history about Red for no reason.
Yeah, yes. We did get to learn a few things along the way. All right. Streaming news is empty. I'm saving the mukbang thing for Sunday. Okay. All right. Quick follow-up on something. Or secondary. Wait. Why does this look like... Gotta fix that. Okay. Attack on Titan final compilation film announced with November premiere. So we talked about this last podcast. We have a little bit more information about it that we didn't cover before. November premiere coming out. Also, it's titled Attack on Titan, the movie, The Last Attack. The movie will be just over 2 hours long, concentrating on the final season called The Final Chapters, and has upgraded scenes and a 5.1 channel surround sound. Quote, I originally drew the storyboards for the final chapters with the idea that it would be watched as a single movie, series and film director Yuichiro Hayashi said. So, having the opportunity to have everyone watch it in the best possible environment, the theater, is a dream come true for me. Well, all right. I'll take it. Anyway, yeah. This headache.
Is it going to be when they release the Blu-ray? Is it going to be a DVD size Blu-ray?
Why do you say that?
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Oh. Okay.
Wow.
From
he doesn't even know his own.
Do you not even get the joke?
Well, I remember the Demon Slayer thing, but that's not.
That's the joke.
Yeah, I get that. It's a terrible joke.
What?
Your joke sucks.
Just because you didn't get it.
And you should feel bad. All right, cool.
What's
I'll be right back. I gotta go.
What about the Demon Slayer thing do you not get? Like,
I get it.
What's different?
The difference with Demon Slayer is that Demon Slayer was an Aniplex title.
Okay, so you're saying that Crunchyroll can't do a large box for the movie?
And I think that the premium box sets for Attack on Titan, I think, are already DVD sized.
I don't know.
Because they're in the digipacks.
I don't know. I don't buy them.
Yep. There you go. Take that. All right.
Maybe it'll be smaller just to fuck you.
It's the only one that's going to be Blu-ray sized. Witch Watch anime adaptation officially announced for April 2025. Okay. Yep.
Which watch will you watch?
It says
when you have it on your wrist?
Morihito Otogi's family is descended from a long line of ogre familiars, and he has the inhuman strength to prove it. One day, his father comes to him with the life-changing news that he is to become the familiar of his childhood friend, the teenage witch Nico. He is to live under the same roof with her and protect her from anything and anyone that may attempt to harm her. Meanwhile, Nico is excited to get to live with the love of her life, even if her crush is one-sided. Morihito is so serious about his duties to protect her that any romance is going to be an uphill battle. But he has every reason to be serious, as Nico has a prophecy of doom hanging over her head. Anyway, there you go. It's getting an anime. Let This Grieving Soul Retire. Anime premieres on October 1st. Quite the face. There you go. There you go again. They turned the Asian slider up a little too high on that man.
Racist.
Yep. I thought this was a little weird. What am I looking at here? Like, what do you think the story is when you look at this?
I don't know. I hear him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you doing? were you doing one of these? He said, taking way too long to hit it.
But the other one.
Sorry, I don't have the Pornhub one on hand. I don't know what this is about. I haven't read this yet. It's the golden age for treasure hunters, adventurers hungry for wealth, fame, power, and glory, who risk their lives in treasure vaults throughout the world. Let's become treasure hunters! Cry and his childhood friends swore to become the greatest of them all. But that dream should have died the day Cry realized he wasn't cut out for the job. Yet, expectations continue to mount, right along with Cry's fear for his life. While his childhood friends climb closer towards their dream, this grieving soul has one simple wish, to pack it all in and retire. So what is up with the fucking, like, studio lighting and shit? I don't understand. Half of these characters aren't even featured on the thing. Literally none of these characters. This is the only one. All right. Stay tuned. Goodbye Dragon Life anime releases third new trailer. Long ago, the most ancient of divine dragons was slain by a human. The mighty dragon accepted its death, when suddenly it was reborn as Dolan, a man who lives in a quiet village. That time I got reincarnated as a random guy in a quiet village. While spending another peaceful day toiling in the fields, he meets Selena, a half-human, half-snake creature looking for a partner. The unlikely duo become friends, but challenges lie ahead that threaten their new bond. Yeah, I didn't get any of that from these two characters. The most notorious talker runs the world's greatest clan. Hey, it's that guy again. He was in that other show we were just looking at. All right, so it's this one.
That's a pretty cool picture, though.
It is somewhat cool. He's got a very tailored overcoat. Hugs him quite nicely. Noelle longs
got
to
the
be
Goblin Slayer eye.
Yeah, that too. Noelle longs to be a seeker like his heroic grandfather, slaying the beasts that emerge from abysses and exploring far-off lands. Unfortunately, it turns out he's nothing but a measly talker, a job with no combat skill whatsoever. Why is he holding a gun? Undaunted, Noel sets out to establish the strongest clan in the land, using his silver-tongued talker skills to unite assassins and heroes under his leadership. Red had a father. Ooh, take that, Ash. If Ash wasn't raised by a single mother, he would have given Misty her bike back.
Watch Ash as Red's father.
It sounds a lot like Black Cat meets Trigon, basically. The synopsis for whatever this anime is.
Mm-hmm. All right. Tying the Knot with an Amagami Sister premieres October 1st. Uryu Kamihate is a high school student striving to enter Kyoto University's medical school. After being raised in an orphanage, Uryu is taken in by the chief priest at Amagami Shrine, where he begins to live as a freeloader and to cohabit with Yae, Yuna, and Asahi, the 3 beautiful Shrine Maiden sisters. What's more, the condition he must meet in order to live at the shrine for free is to marry into the family and inherit the shrine. How will Uryu overcome his marriage meetings with the 3 sisters, as well as the many challenges that Amagami Shrine faces? So begins a miraculous rom-com about living under the same roof with 3 Shrine Maidens. I mean, I guess.
Okay.
Like, he only has to choose between 3? Are there going to be other characters that are more appealing that he's like, no, but I want to live for free? Anyway, Negative Positive Angler. Okay, I read that right. Anime reels in 3 more cast members. So, produced by Studio Nut, which I now think of. Now I think of a different kind of nut, thanks to your brother. So we've got some very cohesive character designs that feel very grounded and in the same universe. Anyway, it's about
not like the other.
The story of the Negative Positive Angler follows Tsunehiro Sasaki, a depressed college student burdened with debt and being told that he only has 2 years left to live.
Oh.
Huh. Okay. After falling into the sea while on the run from debt collectors, Tsunehiro is rescued by friends Hana and Takaki, and soon becomes hooked on fishing himself. Wow. What a story.
Hooked on
what a
fishing.
setup to just being a regular-ass fishing anime. All right? All right, in manga news, the Jujutsu Kaisen manga is ending in 5 chapters. Does a manga ever end at a very unusual, amount of chapters to where they can't release a tankobon of the last bit?
They'd probably fill it up with interviews and art galleries or something like that, if that's the case. I feel like they're gonna have to do that with My Hero Academia.
Good call. I didn't think of that. Anyway, you got anything to say here?
Oh man, but also at least it's kind of short actually, and we'll probably get a full adaptation with the way things are looking. So that's nice.
Cheese got his head in the right place. Just marry all the Amagami sisters, and then they'll all be living there regardless.
How many seasons is the anime?
There's 2 currently. There's a 3rd one has been confirmed. So it's probably going to end up being maybe 4 seasons total.
Cool. I like the idea of it ending, so I can buy the whole thing and we can watch it for a watch.
Yeah.
Cool.
The first chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen was released while One Piece was in the Whole Cake Island arc, and now it's finished. And since then, there's been 3 arcs. The Whole Cake Island. Well, it was halfway through Whole Cake Island, so half of Whole Cake Island, Wano, and Egghead. So in 2.5 arcs, the entirety of Jujutsu Kaisen has happened.
Which is why I will never invest in One Piece, because I can watch countless other shows instead.
Well, okay. Speaking of other shows, Hunter x Hunter manga returns with new chapter in October 7th issue of Jump. Weekly Shonen Jump has announced that the Hunter x Hunter manga will return with a new chapter in the October 7th issue of the magazine, issue number 45 of 2024, making it close to 2 years since the publication of the last chapter. Additionally, number 38 of the Hunter x Hunter manga will be released on September 4th, 2024. Some Japanese internet commenters pointed out that the cover of Hunter x Hunter's 38th volume looked rather too simple for what they're used to getting from the series, which led some to worry about the creator Yoshihiro Togashi's chronic health problems. Others noted that perhaps the simplicity was done in honor to tribute the late Akira Toriyama. Don't know. The last chapter of Hunter x Hunter, chapter 400, was published in Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 4 of 2023. Okay. So, Crunchyroll had this to say. This will mark the first new installment in approximately a year and 9 months. The last update was in the issue released on December 26, 2022, the same issue in which the new pacing for the series was announced. All right. Anime News Network had this to say. The manga went on hiatus in January 2023. Shueisha published the manga's 37th volume in November 2022. Okay. There's a lot to unpack there, but it actually made sense once Reese explained it to me over and over again. So, the list of volumes and chapters. This is volume 37. It has 381, 380. These are the chapters, right? 381, 382, all the way to 390, right? 391 to 400 is what's going into
volume 38.
Volume 38, right? Chapter 400, which is releasing in tankobon format September 4th, 2024, like they said, came out December 26th, 2022, right? So the difference here is the chapter versus the tankobon releasing. So the last chapter, chapter 400, came out December of 2022. The last tankobon, volume 37, came out November of 2022. So he's had 10 chapters out since
in the chambers to be put out in manga.
Yeah.
In the
so this
format.
volume 38 here has not hit bookshelves, right? With the actual tankobon, right? The combined works in the volume 38, right? It's been waiting over 2 years almost.
Yeah.
To get released, right?
Yeah, that's been the pattern for every single one for quite some time now.
Which means that Togashi's probably going to bust out 10 chapters.
Yeah, do enough to fill tankobon and then sit on it.
And then sit on it for another 2 or 3 years and then come back and then we'll get volume 39, right? And then he'll release 10 more chapters. Possibly.
Maybe. If he goes by the pattern that he's established with how he's been releasing things.
Or he'll get healed magically and he'll be better. That would be nice. Podcast magic. All right. Also, Shueisha announces Jump Next Generation Battle Manga Award. Randy, you requested that we cover this. Tell me what's so great about it.
It's not great. It's My Hero, if you remember from, I think it was last week, we covered My Hero Academia is ending.
Mm-hmm.
Jujutsu Kaisen is ending.
Mm-hmm.
I think Black Clover's already ended.
Mm-hmm.
They basically don't have any big tentpole titles anymore. Like what do they have left? So they're doing this contest to try and find something new.
Yeah. So basically the big three, so to speak, or whatever, like the stuff that they have had in the past that keeps them relevant. Like people buy Shonen Jump to read Bleach. because they have the Shonen Jump, they read the other stuff in, right? It's kind of the idea. Like a lot of shows are getting their start because people only found out about them because they bought the collected Shonen Jump for a different show that was more popular, right? So now
One
it's
Piece
like,
in Shonen Jump?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
So
So
One
what are we
Piece is
worried
basically
about?
the only One Piece is the only tentpole they have right
Yeah.
now.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna need the next big thing soon. I mean, we've got Attack on Titan is ended, right? We got like there's a void.
And Dragon Ball Super is not. I think it's.
Yeah.
I think the manga's in hiatus right now.
Indefinite hiatus while they sort things out with Toriyama's estate.
So it's like literally, what do they have?
Yeah,
like
but
they must be
Toro
panicking
basically
right now.
Took that over.
Watch Oda ends it next week.
I mean, Oda has come out and said that like it'll be ending soon, but I mean, his soon is probably at least 5 years from now.
Yeah, I like the idea that like they want to make Chopper gay or something, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm ending One Piece." Like,
I imagine that like honestly, they probably went to Oda and said like, drag Wano out because the last part.
You're the only
Like we can't lose you.
This magazine will tank once you end it.
yeah, honestly, yeah. All right, let's jump into games news. South Korean publisher Krafton rescues Hi-Fi Rush from the scrapyard. So previously we had read an article or looked at some news that Microsoft bought this company, right? And then shut it down.
I think they bought the parent company that owned them or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
and then they shut it down.
yeah, so Tango Gameworks and its one-hit game, Hi-Fi Rush, is getting a second chance at life, going from a Microsoft studio started up by Shinji Mikami to a subsidiary under South Korean company Krafton, the publisher of PUBG. After the sudden announcement of the studio shutdown in May, Microsoft received backlash on its decision, possibly leading to the current situation where Tango Gameworks and its staff are being integrated into Krafton. Apart from PUBG, this blew my fucking mind. Apart from PUBG, the publisher also has Terra and the Callisto Protocol under its resume. I cannot think of a more... I mean, I can see PUBG and go, yeah, they could probably handle this. Fucking Callisto Protocol? Could it be more different than PUBG? Holy shit. Though neither is particularly good name to be attached to. Oof, burn. I liked Callisto Protocol.
PUBG was good too back in the day.
In fact,
they got
I'm
copied.
considering. So I beat Callisto Protocol, and when you beat the game, it's like Dead Space, where you can do like a new game plus with all of your upgraded stuff, right? So I was talking to my son the other day about doing a game night where I just marathon that game because I don't need to take as much time because I don't need to accumulate all the credits and stuff that would allow me to upgrade my items because they're basically already all the way there. So if anybody's interested in experiencing Callisto Protocol without having to buy it and play it, I could be your vessel.
One avenue, there's probably at least 3 other Let's Plays already on YouTube.
Sorry, what?
There probably are multiple Let's Plays already on
Oh, I'm
YouTube.
sure. Yes, duh. But I could be the one because you never thought about it and you never even heard of the game until I brought it up just now. So there, you know.
You have to sell why you, because you're the best open chest anime podcast host playing Callisto
Well, I
Protocol
guess I
on
am. Thank
YouTube
you.
at the time.
You heard it here first, folks. It has always been
just
me.
adding more descriptors just to get you to that Guinness Book of World Records.
All right, so the Hi-Fi Rush IP followed Tango to Krafton, though Microsoft will still own the rights to the first game. It seems that this is only step one of Krafton's investment in Japan, though at least this investment comes from within Asia rather than the West. All right, let's do a quick marathon here.
Hold on. After I rushed second chance, I woke.
Oh, no.
Also, Shonen Jump has Boruto. Yeah, but who fucking reads Boruto?
One of my
Gross.
coworkers.
That I don't know. Boruto seemed like just a giant cash in. The new writer that they got sucked, in my opinion. I think the original guy came back and now he's writing it again, but
Kishimoto.
Yeah, Kishimoto.
Yep.
Is this Spy Family in Jump too? Anya's gonna hold up Shonen Jump all on her own.
I don't think Spy Family is
tell
weekly
them
though.
this.
if it is in Jump, I don't think it's weekly.
Old man, you are going to be my only viewer now, right? You kind of owe me after telling everybody they can play the game for free on Epic August 22nd, which is tomorrow. Thanks a lot. All right. So Warner Brothers Discovery earnings report reveals that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League caused a 41% loss in video game revenue. And it has lost over 98% of its players. And Warner Brothers Discovery is now looking to sell stake in its video games business because they clearly can't manage it themselves.
To be fair, they've been trying to sell off their video game company for like a decade.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like they've just never had any fucking hits, right? Never. Not a single thing has ever been profitable.
Hogwarts Legacy, biggest game last year.
Right. All right. Another round of layoffs hit Xbox and Microsoft as company fully embraces woke agenda. Wow, look at that trash fire I'm looking at. Holy shit. Also, Bungie is going to lay off 17% of staff to focus on tighter relationships with Sony. Recent Bungie job cuts reportedly needed in order to, quote, stop continued losses. Leadership said to have, quote, overstated the studio's financial prospects to Sony. Damn. Also, Destiny creator Bungie blames mass layoffs on tough economy, but fans cry foul and point to years of virtue signaling. Let me go back and show you that Halo rainbow again.
Did you see the part where the CEO is like got a really expensive car and spending like $1 million or whatever as soon as they did the deal with Sony?
Yeah, like so he cashed out.
Yeah.
All right, multiple woke activists and Sweet Baby Inc. defenders laid off as part of Bungie's massive downside. Wah, wah. Ready at Dawn Studios has been shut down by Meta. Capcom game sales declined 44% as overall sales declined 33%. What else does Capcom sell besides games?
Mobile games. Oh wait. Besides games, nothing that I know.
I mean,
of.
they have obviously like merchandise shipped for the game properties.
Anyway, so yeah, that's happening. And then Flintlock, Siege of Dawn developer A44 Games is expecting massive layoffs. What? All right. Certainly no other business could be having such a hard time. Oh, what's this? Assassin's Creed Shadows lead producer claims, quote, "We are trying to create a game that is authentic as possible." That can't be right. Didn't they just apologize to the Japanese and say it's a work of fiction? Isn't that what we just covered like not too long ago?
To be fair to this guy, I think he was talking about the fact that there's like Chinese architecture in the Japan that they created, so they want to fix that. I think that's what he was talking about.
You do, huh? Why don't we read this? Press X to doubt. In the wake of numerous controversies related to the game's historical accuracy, Assassin's Creed Shadows lead producer Carl O'Neill has claimed that one of the game's main priorities is to make sure it shows proper respect to Japanese culture. You're failing so hard at that. O'Neill put forth this assertion while speaking to game industry business Christopher Dring regarding the development process behind Ubisoft's next Assassin's Creed entry. Speaking to the game's supposed dedication to properly representing its historical setting, the producer asserted, quote, "We are trying to create a game that is authentic as possible. It's something we take pride in." Okay. And that is also a very long process. When we build a Japanese house from medieval Japan, it is very different from, say, a French medieval house or an English one. So you have to learn as artists where things go inside a feudal Japanese house. Maybe the food doesn't go there. You have to get everything you need to know and learn it. And that process is long. To this end, One turned to his team's research process, therein noting that one of the most important aspects to their work was apparently making physical visits to Japan proper.
Oh,
It's
I'm
not
sure they
feudal Japan.
took multiple trips.
Yeah. Quote, "It's not feudal Japan, obviously, but it's good to go on site because it's only then that we realize it is very different to what we think it is. Oh, it's not China." Like,
you know, they do have like old villages, like they have like old ninja villages that you can go visit. I wonder if they actually went there or if they were just like, yeah, we're good, we're in Tokyo.
Right, yeah.
We're totally doing this as a business trip. What?
It'd be funny because like it's often forgotten, I think, by people, or at least, you know, I have to remind myself that the plot of Assassin's Creed is that you play some asshole in the future who gets in a device that lets him remote control a past assassin like an avatar. Right?
While
so maybe
I haven't played the games, my understanding is they've kind of downplayed that part of the game.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't it be funny if all the research they did was the modern, like, Japanese guy entering into like the device that lets him control Yasuke, right? And it's like the like office building it looks exactly like in Japan. It's 100%. The view from the window, it's straight up Japan. Like, yeah, that's where all their research went. So he says it is very interesting because when the team went there, one of the things that jumped out was the forests and how they are. We had made some forests based on the Greece landscape for Odyssey. But when we went, we noticed it was very different to what we had done, and we had to change it. You don't necessarily find that stuff out when doing historical research.
I mean, you could look at what the tree types of the forest in Japan are. Like, I don't think that's a secret.
Apparently, I have just started streaming on Rumble. Good job.
How are you?
Good job.
Nice. I think you've probably been streaming this whole time. Rumble's just slow at the notification.
Slow on the notification. Yeah. From there, the producer was then pressed by his host as to how the team was approaching the specific development of a title set in a nation not their own. To which he affirmed, I also want to point out that my highlights are fucking gone. Where are my highlights? I know I highlighted that to say don't fucking read this part. Great. To which he affirmed, obviously, when we make a game, we are trying to appeal to a global audience. Since we are making a game in Japan, we do hope to appeal to more Japanese players. So it is very important that we try to be as authentic as possible. We come from a humble position of we don't know. We come from a humble position of we don't know anything, and we need to learn everything from scratch. We are making sure we respect things because that is something very important to Japanese people, as it is in many other countries. Right? You know, believe it or not, people don't like to be disrespected. There's a lot of countries that feel that way. Like, when you come in, you don't want to come in as if you know everything. We want to build something that when they see and play it, they will recognize their own country. What doesn't belong.
Don't come into our countries and shit on our beaches. God damn it.
Yeah, I can't wait till there's an Assassin's Creed in Canada where they have to get that minute detail of the Indian families digging holes to shit in. As referenced above, One's
Be a
claim of
treasure. It'd be like a side quest treasure hunt. Just
You keep digging up
go
shit.
dig it in the beach, and you'll be like, "Oh, I found a brown mushy thing."
Yeah.
It smells.
Papa Squat treasure.
Oh, what is that smell?
Smells like curry.
Oh no. As referenced above, One's claim of authenticity regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows is a questionable assertion at best, and an outright lie at worst. As the game has been swamped in controversy regarding its approach to feudal Japanese history ever since its first trailer. Such controversies have included such ahistorical developments as the game featuring a historical Yasuke as a full-blown samurai rather than a retainer, its applying of Chinese architecture to Japanese buildings, the unauthorized depiction of a modern-day historical reenactment group's personal flag as belonging to a historical military unit, and allowing the aforementioned Yasuke to engage in same-sex relationships despite no evidence existing to suggest he ever held such romantic inclinations. Further, it should be noted that One's claim stands counter to Ubisoft's previous admission that while, quote, we have put significant effort into ensuring an immersive and respectful representation of feudal Japan, their, quote, intention has never been to represent any of our Assassin's Creed games, including Assassin's Creed Shadows, as factual representations of history or historical characters. I'm not going to read the rest of that. I know that's just the rest of the apology, right? I definitely remember highlighting that. So hopefully, dear Lord, give me back my highlights. Japanese historian Yuichi Goza speculates that Yasuke was simply Oda Nobunaga's bodyguard and entertainer rather than a samurai as he's depicted in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Thank God for the highlights. All right. So Goza, who is a faculty member of the International Research Center for Japanese Studies, focusing on Japanese medieval history, and the author of What is a Samurai? What is a woman, right? Honestly, if you think about it, Matt Walsh's What is a Woman is equally applicable with What is a Samurai, because they don't know. It's just something you identify as, right? And Yasuke identified as one. Oh, God. So he was asked, what kind of person was Yasuke? And was he a samurai or not? Goza responded, quote, there are very few historical records about Yasuke, so it is difficult to say. The history of Yasuke has not been the subject of much research, in part because the history of personalities is not the mainstream of historical studies. In the 15-volume Nobunaga Koki, in the collection of the Sonkei Kakubunko, which is one of the biographies of Nobunaga Koki, a chronicle of Nobunaga's life, there is a description of Nobunaga giving Yasuke a sword and a house, indicating that he treated him as a samurai. However, this is something that only appears in this biography among the dozens of manuscripts of the Nobunaga Chronicle, and we cannot deny the possibility that it was added later when the manuscript was transcribed. Goza continued, also, even if he was a samurai, he may have been a formality. For example, in the Edo period, feudal lords who were fond of sumo had their own personal wrestlers. Formerly, they were treated as vassals or samurai and allowed to wear a sword, but even if a war broke out, it was not expected that the feudal lords would allow their retainers to fight on the battlefield. When asked about the magnificent armor that Ubisoft depicts Yasuke wearing in Assassin's Creed Shadows and what position he actually held under Nobunaga, Goza responded, quote, the Japanese people around Nobunaga were very surprised by Yasuke's dark skin and seemed to be interested in it. In a sense, it was a show. And having a black man like Yasuke so close to him would attract attention and, in a sense, show off Nobunaga's power. Anyway, we could read more, but I don't think it's relevant or important. Point is that the historian says, yeah, probably not, right? Now, the Japanese government has also exposed another lie of Thomas Lockley. where they said, in the archives of the Guma Prefecture's website, a question was asked. Quote, I have heard that an ancient document in the Guma Prefectural archives contains a description of a kudo-ho, black man. Is this true? Now, kudo is the Japanese word for black, kuroi, right? It's the adjective that you use to apply the color black to the thing you're talking about. So they ask, is this true? The government entity responded, quote, in the Karima family document, the word kudo-ho appears in a description related to Hideyoshi Toyotomi's invasion of Korea. In Black Samurai, Yasuke, the African samurai who served Nobunaga, which was broadcast on NHK, Thomas Lockley stated that the kudo-ho mentioned in this document may be the successor of Yasuke, a black samurai who served Oda Nobunaga. We at the archives have not recognized this kudo-ho as a black person at all, and we are surprised by Mr. Lockley's suggestion. It is difficult to make a definite determination since the blacks appear in only one place in this document. For example, the word kudo-ho also appears in the tale of Genji, which means kudo-ho, needed incense, and seems to occur frequently in Japanese classics. So my understanding is the question was asked about kudo-ho. When they say it also appears in Tale of Genji, which means kudo-ho, they're probably in the original Japanese using a different kanji here that spells out like verbally the same word, right? That's why this one that is being ascribed saying kudo-ho, meaning like, yeah, like black, right? And this one, when it's written in kanji, is like, no, this is needed incense, you know, and seems to occur frequently in Japanese classics. So this is actually a common term, according to them. In addition, some of our staff members have suggested that it would be more natural to see it as a description of an object rather than a person when reading our documents. There you go. Continuing from here, new player sentiment analysis contradicts Ubisoft's claim that Assassin's Creed Shadows has, quote, positive community sentiment. So during the company's sales conference call in July, an investor from HSBC asked about how pre-orders for both Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows compared to previous Ubisoft releases. Ubisoft CEO, the Ubisoft CEO responded, quote, we don't disclose nor comment on pre-orders usually. What we can say, what we've been observing and measuring, is that our two big titles actually are among the most awaited games of the industry, and they enjoy very strong positive community sentiment overall. Yasuke was a Bugatti to Nobunaga. If Yasuke was gay, how does he have descendants to go back in time? Wait, do they have to be descendants for the thing? That's fucking funny. Oh, God. Hold on. Boss man is texting me about stuff that he seems to have forgotten. He told me he would write the description of the thing for. However, Player XP's community sentiment report for Assassin's Creed Shadows disputes this claim. The company found that the overall sentiment calculated, which represents the voice of the players, is -13. Breaking down player sentiment by a social media platform, it had a -14 rating on YouTube, where the majority of interactions came from, a -7 rating on Twitter, a +2 rating on TikTok, and a -55 rating on Facebook. Albeit,
go back to what he said. Exactly.
Albeit it only factored in 105 interactions.
Strongly
has positive community sentiment.
No, that's not what he said, though. He said,
we don't disclose nor comment on pre-orders usually. What we can say, what we've been observing and measuring, is that our two big titles actually are among the most awaited games of the industry, and they enjoy very strong positive community sentiment overall.
All right, he did say positive.
He said
I thought
very strong.
I thought he just remembering. I thought he said very strong community sentiment, and I was going to say yes, very strongly negative.
Yeah,
but he said positive. So yeah.
So furthermore, the analysis detailed many of the biggest talking points and key words have negative sentiment, including Japan, Ubisoft, Yasuke, and history. Quote, these all have significant negative sentiments associated with the historical element being the most negative at negative 45. This has been driven by players expressing concerns about the historical accuracy and cultural depiction. Additionally, the character Yasuke has received a negative sentiment score of negative 17 from the player community, aligning with the themes. Players have highlighted inaccuracies related to this character. All right, so I have more to say about this on this article. New AI analysis finds Assassin's Creed Shadows Yasuke discourse, believe it or not, is less toxic than the industry average. Good, my highlights are still here. Encountering the regularly touted claim that a large portion of the game's critics are aggressive racists, a new report has found that the negative conversations surrounding Assassin's Creed Shadows are actually less toxic than the average video game discourse. The report in question was compiled by video game-centric analytics firm Player XP through the use of their titular AI, which, quote, harnesses the power of machine learning to monitor and analyze player feedback from across the web to, quote, provide accurate sentiment analysis for studios and publishers to make informed decisions based on player feedback, the results of which are laid out on a scale of negative 99, very negative, to 99, very positive. Anyway, that's, there's more. The first thing, the firm found that rather than Yasuke or the game's bastardization of history, the element of Assassin's Creed Shadows that actually drew the most player outrage was Ubisoft's perceived prioritization of monetization strategies over player experience. The consistent negative feedback regarding monetization strategies suggests that players feel unheard, affecting their overall trust in Ubisoft. Between the AI's analysis being limited to just written comments rather than spoken criticisms, its sample size being relatively small, for comparison, while the report looked at 129,633 overall interactions, the official upload of the game's debut trailer alone has 91,824 comments. And the exact process and methodology by which the AI made its findings is currently being withheld from the public. So it's clear that Player XP's report does not paint a full picture of the overall discourse surrounding Assassin's Creed Shadows. However, much to the chagrin of the game's supporters, these flaws do not change the report's general findings, that rather than being based in racism, the criticisms being leveled against Ubisoft's next title are more the result of players being fed up with being blatantly insulted by AAA publishers. And then they misspell and say that it's coming out on November 12th. It's actually coming out on November 15th. All right. Ahead of Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows release, Ubisoft also lays off 45 employees. Do I have highlights on this? I'm guessing I'm skipping this entire article. And we are instead going to talk about the fact that Ubisoft's Skull and Bones went on sale for $10 at Best Buy after the CEO described the game as quadruple A and attempted to justify a $70 price tag. Ubisoft's Avatar Frontiers of Pandora price reduced 50% less than 2 months after arriving on Steam. And let's talk, finally. No, actually, well, we'll talk about Star Wars in a minute. But alleged internal Ubisoft document declares, quote, representation is part of our DNA. And it, quote, firmly stands for diversity and inclusion. Look where you are now. This was from April, by the way. I've been sitting on this for a while. All right, Ubisoft pays for influencers to travel to LA, visit Disneyland as part of the Star Wars Outlaws marketing campaign. Whew. A new report has revealed that in an ostensible attempt to elicit favorable fan coverage, Ubisoft is spending big. Big two is spending big on, okay, yeah. Ubisoft is spending big on the online influencer angle of their Star Wars Outlaws marketing campaign. The depths of Ubisoft's wallet in regards to promoting their upcoming Star Wars game were first brought to light courtesy of German video game and sci-fi YouTuber Cyberpunk 20XX. His curiosity piqued both by Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot's declaration during the company's Q1 2024 earnings report that Star Wars Outlaws would have the biggest marketing campaign ever so far for an Ubisoft game. Did you guys know that this game is coming out this month?
No.
The biggest marketing campaign ever for an Ubisoft game. As well as recent accusations being floated on media that some online content creators had been, quote, bought by Ubisoft. Cyberpunk 20XX began looking into just how effective inflating the game's marketing budget had worked out for it. To this end, said YouTuber's initial investigation revealed that between himself, a number of fellow YouTubers, and everyone's respective audiences, far fewer knew that Star Wars Outlaws was launching at the end of August than the game's marketing budget would suggest. However, after watching a video from fellow German creator Kartoffelkönig, in which he revealed that he had not only been, quote, invited by Ubisoft to come to Los Angeles and spend a few hours in Star Wars Outlaws for a few hours. What? Okay. Spend a few hours in Star Wars Outlaws, but while there, also spent a day at Disneyland. Cyberpunk 20XX proceeded to turn his attentions away from standard news and video coverage and instead began searching out vlogs related to said content, or related to said event, rather. As in his logic, because someone who is invited to Los Angeles will surely have made a blog about it. Quadruple A never means quality. Representation is stupid. If that is the case, video games should represent video games, especially to video game players. Okay. I'm not surprised Yasuke is black, and a lot of anti-woke commenters don't want to be called racist. Plus, Shadows is not very popular, and thus will get less attention overall. No, I didn't know Outlaws release date. See? Nobody knows. Why is my phone buzzing so much? Lo and behold, in doing so, Cyberpunk 20XX not only had Ubisoft hosted, found that not only had Ubisoft hosted a number of influencers for Star Wars Outlaws promotional event, but that those who were invited were treated to such amenities as whale watching tour. No. I mean, I know there's a lot of fatties at Disneyland, but you could call, oh, wait, no, and a VIP tour. Okay, so they mean an actual whale watching tour. And having their flights and hotels completely paid for. Quote, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that when a company puts a lot of money into something, it will, of course, only do so if it benefits from it, argued the YouTuber. Quote, this is, of course, this is not done out of charity, as we all know that business is not that good. Nevertheless, one cannot speak here of buying options, but rather an attempt to influence. Whether and if so, how well this works depends on many factors. So if you want to know whether a creator has been influenced, you have to take some time and look at his stuff. You should usually get a pretty good feel for whether someone is influenced or not. But yes, the bad taste remains, whether you like it or not. That's why professional journalists and media categorically reject such things and pay for their own travel, accommodation, and meals. This is obviously not the end of Ubisoft's strategy. Ubisoft has bought advertising from many content creators, not the usual placements at the beginning or in the middle of the video, but or in the, how are you guys so bad at this? But entire videos. In return, of course, paid for according to the reach and clicks achieved. There are a lot of figures that are buzzing around, but we're talking quite decent amounts. We're not necessarily talking about peanuts here. Ultimately, what this means for players is, as noted by Cyberpunk 20XX, it's important to always vet the individuals from who they get their information, lest they end up being taken for a ride by someone who would trade their integrity for a few days of all expenses paid fun. If you want me to become an Ubisoft shill, unfortunately, I already live in California, and I don't want to go to Disney. So, and I also hate Star Wars, so it would be very hard for them to get something out of me. German YouTuber claims advertising agency told him to make positive edits to a Star Wars Outlaws review. Did I highlight anything? I'm going to say we skip this. The bottom line is that a different German YouTuber was actually they made a video. Then the company that was like a third party away from Ubisoft that had like brought him in to do this, it was like an advertising company, made him change the content of his review. They let him play for 4 hours. That got edited down to 1 hour, but the team had them change things that they said to be more positive or directed different ways or something. And I'm just now remembering the real reason I included this in the doc was to show you more pictures of KAISEN, the character here, because we haven't looked at this yet. We've avoided talking about this entire time, right? So I'm just drawing attention to this modern gaming audience mascot, right? Yeah. Stunning and brave. So
he's got fists of steel.
Yes. A year ago, the same people always making things about race tried to divide and jumpstart the Gamergate their dying publications need for revenue and relevance. By the way, this is from April. I've been sitting on this stuff for a long time. But the 100K dislikes Star Wars Outlaws earned are indicative of entirely different issues, referring to their trailer. So Star Wars Outlaws Backlash proves we need more women protagonists. This is from June 13, 2023. Woman, Chuds, right? It's woman protagonist is making Chuds very, very angry. After Star Wars Outlaws was revealed during the Ubisoft showcase, some Gamergate adjacent gamers took issue with its protagonist, a woman of color named KAISEN, portrayed by a Venezuelan-born actor, Humberly Gonzalez. Right, and she's a woman, right? So they've been scheming this grift for over a year, right? Trying to make, the culture war shit about it, the future, the Force is female, all that shit, so that they can, because they believed at the time, sentiment was that the woke was popular, right? And that we're gonna meme magic this into existence by creating a controversy about it so that we have, rekindled Gamergate so that we get the support that we think we had during initial Gamergate, right? KAISEN is set to become the first female to lead a full Star Wars game. Bitch, what? Right? So apparently, like Knights of the Old Republic, a bunch of other games have existed previously that led with female protagonists.
Well, Knights of the Old Republic, the
second
pick.
one, right?
Both of them. You picked your character.
Okay. I don't know. I don't play any of these games. I'm going off what the comments said. Star Wars then, Star Wars now. It's the lighting. It's the angle. It is just ugly. It is deliberate. Convincing people ugly is actually pretty isn't going to work. Pronouns. I had to fight myself putting an F on this. not for female, because like its design, she barely passes for human. Right? Throw in the guy from the Warriors, which is way too apt of a like comparison, and then fucking Matt Damon from Team America, the lack of breasts. Like, what are we looking at here? Like, it is once again, this whole thing is in order to make trannies feel at home, right? Now, the only explanation for this is that the patriarchy is real. Is he wrong? If they can make Cameron Monaghan look accurate in game, why are they unable to do it with her? Right? To be fair, it's hard to make us gingers look worse. Great comment. All right. Mark Kern says, you don't hate Disney and Ubisoft enough. To get this skin in Star Wars Outlaws, you have to sign up for Disney Plus.
And agree to arbitration? Yeah. Never.
If you get this skin in Star Wars Outlaws, Disney can kill you, can kill your kid at their theme park, and you won't be able to sue. All right, that's games news. Any questions? Next, he says, I'm completely over Ubisoft bullshit. I would totally be into Assassin's Creed Shadows and Star Wars Outlaw, but all this crap has turned me off of both games. Virtue signal too close to the sun, did they? Yeah, Kamala is also trying to buy content creators. Yes, Kamala Harris not only has been caught attempting to pay content creators to make content about them, but they also, during the DNC, kicked a bunch of people out of a restaurant to bring in actors that they bust in to fill the restaurant so they could record a completely off-the-cuff, actual real moment of her walking into an Applebee's or some shit so that it would look like she's totally relatable, right? Recently, she ditched her $50,000 necklace that she's been wearing in photos to go to a grocery store to buy Doritos to look completely relatable to all the people she needs to get votes from. It is the most obvious astroturfing campaign I have ever seen. Like, holy fucking shit, is it bad?
Also, Tim Walz doesn't know what corn nuts are.
Yes, because she asks for corn nuts in the take that they used, and then he throws over a bag of Doritos, and she's like, yes! Like, what the? Outlaws is a PC game, just mod the skin in. Yep. Go for it. Yeah, Ubisoft paid the editor for back grammar. Yeah, make me an Ubisoft shill. I'd be an Ubisoft shill if they made games that I liked, like Splinter Cell. Come on, Ubisoft. Where have you been? All right.
They've been reportedly working on it, but I mean, Skull and Bones took them like, what, fucking 10
fucking
years?
Michael Ironside is dead, right?
Is that the guy that played?
The guy who played Sam Fisher?
I didn't
know. Is it Mike? Yeah, it is. No, I'm thinking of Rip Torn is dead. Is Michael Ironside dead?
I have no clue.
He was in Nobody.
He was, right? Yeah, he was the guy who owned he was the father-in-law, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. He's only 74. We got a couple more years. Holy shit, his wife. Oh no. I thought his wife was really fucking young, but I'm looking at the date they got married was 1986. Okay. The Criterion Collection has announced November 2024 releases 7 Samurai 4K. I just want to point out, the podcast is magic. We discussed their stupidness and how much they thought 4K was a gimmick. And we made this happen. It was all us. 100%. So they're also going to do the Paul Mooney Scarface in 4K, Seven Samurai in 4K, Godzilla 1954 4K, Paper Moon, Shape of Water. Don't know why that needed to happen. Bunny Girl. So then there's the Criterion Collection 40, a 4K UHD Blu-ray that contains 40 films, including, what is it, Tokyo Story? I have most of
Is
this.
that like Toy Story?
Yeah, it's a ripoff.
Repo
On the Waterfront, Do the Right Thing, Sunday Bloody Sunday,
Night of the Living Dead.
My Own Private Idaho, Love and Basketball, Island Dead, Ace in the Hole, Three Women, The Red Shoes, Down by Law, La Cienega, Wanda House, Sullivan's Travels, The Battle of Algiers, A Woman Under the Influence, Cleo from 5 to 7, Persona, In the Mood for Love. Okay. Yeah, so I guess Tokyo Story is the only Japanese one going in there. Anyway, I'll definitely be buying that 4K Seven Samurai. All right.
Nothing new.
Reese, we got anything new? Cool. We got nothing new.
It's only been 2 days.
Where's my Walmart exclusive steelbook of
The Last
Unicorn?
I looked for it. I can't find it.
God, you are a fucking idiot if you can't fucking Google it, you bitch. Look at you, dumb bitch.
I looked in Walmart. It wasn't showing up.
I literally Googled Last Unicorn Walmart exclusive. Wouldn't you know it? Last Unicorn Steelbook Walmart exclusive 4K Ultra HD plus Blu-ray. Yeah.
I looked in Walmart.com and didn't look.
God, I always feel bad when I go to a convention and the guy who made this is sitting there and nobody's fucking talking to him. What are you doing there? This is like, make something else. Like, do something else with your goddamn life. Anyway. Oh, and then of course Walmart doesn't let you archive. Fuck Walmart. All right, moving on from here. If you guys would like to keep this show going, you will have to get a time machine and go back in time and buy from Stealth Weeb during a time when the website was accessible. Or you can buy stuff from the OCA podcast store, and then when I can quit my job, I'll have time to go fix those Stealth Weeb stores. These are your options. I'm sorry, they're not great. All right. Oh, that's right. I have to open the archive of this one. This is an honest to goodness actual tweet from GameStop. An official GameStop announcement. Attention customers. We regret to inform you that GameStop is currently investigating an incident at store 1261 where a lightsaber has been found with an unauthorized sticker. It seems someone has mischievously decided to label our Darth Vader mini lightsaber. Somebody has decided to label our Darth Vader mini lightsaber light for a use far beyond galactic battles. While we appreciate enthusiasm about our products, let's be clear. Lightsabers are designed for epic duels and imaginative adventures, not for any other creative uses suggested by inappropriate labeling. So if you can't read it, it says for rectal use only. Rest assured, we're on it, ensuring that all lightsabers stay free from misleading disclaimers. We're committed to maintaining the integrity of our products and the safety of our customers. If you have any information regarding the customer who took the use the force a bit too far, Please reach out to GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen. May the force and common sense be with us all. All right, let's talk about the rapists.
Yes!
Finally, right? In 2005, a medical technician invented Rapex to prevent rape in South Africa. It resembles a female condom with sharp teeth. Any man who attempts to rape a woman impales himself on the teeth and must go to the hospital to have the device removed. Oh no. I'm afraid. Take me off screen. All right, hold on. Okay, good. It's a banana. For a second there, I thought I saw something I didn't want to see. They like photoshopped on wounds. This image shows how it would cut the penis. Yeah, doesn't look fun. Don't be raping. All right. Also,
can't wait for these to get back in style as monkeypox prevention.
Yeah. So I have no other way to shoehorn this thing I've been sitting on into the podcast other than to say, you know who really needs the Rapex? These dolphins. Pakistanis have raped the Indus River pink dolphin species to near extinction. They rape these dolphins because when they're young, they have small pink vaginas resembling a woman's. That they apparently find it irresistible, so they rape them. It is possibly the only species raped by humans to near extinction.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh. There's been a lot of red pilling this podcast, I think. I didn't mean for that to happen. I apologize. All right. Just need to archive the Rapex demonstration real quick. Okay. So, Osaka Dragon's tail must be cut off. High court rules in Osaka ramen restaurant case. Landmark Dotonbori ramen restaurant's famous dragon is going to be cut down to legally allowable size. What? How dare they? It's such a small little ramen shop too. Like, this is all the ramen shop is. He's got this like whoa. He looks a lot more high when you're not zoomed in. The Dotonbori district is one of Osaka's biggest tourist draws, boasting a unique urban landscape of neon lights, bridges over its canal, and lots of restaurants. Because Dotonbori has so many places to eat, restaurants have to do something special to stand out from the pack. And many of them do that with creative, eye-catching three-dimensional signs and decorations. One of the most famous examples of the Dotonbori branch of Kinryu, a ramen restaurant whose name means gold dragon, and which has, appropriately, a giant dragon greeting guests from above its dining area. You could argue the statue is more of a green dragon than a gold one, but its draconian status cannot be questioned. So Kinryu's dragon has made it a local landmark and won it word of mouth, even from foreign travelers who can't read the restaurant's name or know what it means. But while Kinryu's choice of decoration is a great fit thematically, it turns out it's not such a great fit geographically. So as you can see over here, this little bit of tail is sticking out. And they have determined that's no good. So as you can see in the above image, Kiryu's dragon has an extra bit of architectural flair and then it appears to be coming out of the wall. Walk around to the other side, and you'll find the rest of its body and, bursting through yet another wall, the tip of its tail. That's also where That's also where you'll find the problem, because the tail juts out far enough from Kinryu's restaurant that it's actually crossing over into the adjacent property lot, which Kinryu doesn't own. The real estate company that owns that lot isn't happy about this, and 4 years ago, they filed a lawsuit against Kinryu, asking them to remove the tail of the dragon. Imagine this. It's COVID. And you're like, motherfucker, I'm going to get that tail removed. God help me. Right? Like, looking at the situation from the angle shown in the above video, the tail doesn't appear to extend more than halfway across the alley. However, such walkways in Japan are sometimes private property, not public roads, as we've discussed when tourists were recently barred from certain roads in Kyoto's Geisha district. So it's likely that Kinryu's property stops close to its building exterior, and the walkway technically belongs to the neighboring lot, whose owners allow people to use it. Seems petty. I don't know. What do you think? Seems
I'd
fucking
cut it
petty.
off with a chainsaw.
Yeah, babies don't work for this. True. True. Regardless of where the exact property line is, back in October, an Osaka District Court ruled in favor of the real estate company, ordering Kinryu to remove the dragon's tail. Kinryu then filed an appeal, and the case was passed up to Osaka High Court, who once again ruled in favor of the plaintiff in May. Since then, Kinryu had been mulling appealing the decision once again, but as of last week says that it's finally giving up the fight to save the dragon's tail, saying that the ongoing legal struggle is making it difficult to focus on making great ramen and serving it to other customers. Not that this was an easy choice for the restaurant to make, though. It is with a heavy heart, quote, "It is with a heavy heart that we have resolved to abide by the court's ruling and cut off the dragon's tail," said the restaurant in a statement, adding, quote, "That three-dimensional sign is the very symbol of our company, and it is not just a simple tail to us." I mean, fucking cut it off and have it coming out up here, down here, over there.
Yeah, seriously.
Fucking boo-hoo about it. It's not just a tail to us. The silver lining...
I would come back into the restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. Have it come through the ceiling. Not that one. Have it coming down like right here. You know, like in the restaurant. Then people will touch it and his eyes will make sense. Like, oh, my tail. All right.
Charge him 500 yen to touch the dragon.
Yeah. The silver lining to Kinryu's predicament is that the restaurant itself is doing just fine and will continue operations with or without the tip of the tail, and that the rest of the dragon is being spared. An exact date for the tail severing has yet to be set, but it's expected to take place sometime before the end of this month. Fuck, that's not a lot of time. All right. Well, okay. Anyway, hopefully this next article is better, because they couldn't work out a deal. The ramen shop should have made customers sign an arbitration. It's okay for boneless chicken wings to have bones, Ohio Supreme Court rules. I am at a loss for words once again. The point of language is to convey things accurately. I just don't think that this... I need this to go to the federal Supreme Court, like all the way up to the top, because this is some horseshit. So the court rejected claims by a restaurant patron who suffered serious medical complications from getting a bone in his throat. Better than a nut. Consumers cannot expect boneless chicken wings to actually be free of bones, a divided Ohio Supreme Court ruled Thursday, rejecting claims by a restaurant patron who suffered serious medical complications from getting a bone stuck in his throat. So when I first saw the headline, I thought for sure that what it was actually arguing was, if boneless chicken wings are being made by grinding up chicken and then like breading it, and that's how you make it boneless, if a bone got ground up in the chicken, that can't be helped. And I'm like, that's reasonable, right? As long as that bone has been ground up so much that you won't taste it or cause bodily harm, I could live with that, right? Michael Berkheimer was dining with his wife and friends at a wing joint in Hamilton, Ohio, and had ordered the usual, boneless wings with Parmesan garlic sauce, when he felt a bite-sized piece of meat go down the wrong way. 3 days later, feverish and unable to keep food down, Berkheimer, we losing the H now, went to the emergency room where a doctor discovered a long, thin bone that had torn his esophagus and caused an infection. Berkheimer sued the restaurant, Wings on Brookwood, saying the restaurant failed to warn him that so-called boneless wings, which are, of course, nuggets of boneless, skinless breast meat, could contain bones. The suit also named the supplier and the farm that produced the chicken, claiming all were negligent. How dare you not breed your chickens without bones? What the fuck? Is it because they chop up the chicken before sending it? I guess that's
probably a rib gut.
That's more reasonable. In a 4-3 ruling, the Supreme Court said Thursday that boneless wings refers to a cooking style, and that Berkheimer should have been on guard against bones, since it's common knowledge that chickens have bones. Fuck's sake, are we serious? It's common. Don't you know chickens have bones? You're a dumbass.
When you go to McDonald's, if there's a bone in your hamburger, it's common knowledge. Cows have bones.
Cows have bones. You should expect to have an entire rib sticking out of your burger. The High Court sided with the lower courts that had dismissed Berkheimer's suit. Quote, a diner reading boneless wings on a menu would no more believe that the restaurant was warranting the absence of bones in the items than believe that the items were made from chicken wings, just as a person eating chicken fingers would know that he had not been served fingers. Justice Joseph T.D. Luigi, are you an Ohio Supreme Court justice by chance? Like, what the fuck? Can you imagine making that argument? The dissenting justices called Dieter's reasoning utterly jabberwocky. Fucking God, yes. You are utter jabberwocky, Luigi. And said a jury should have been allowed to decide whether the restaurant was negligent in serving Berkheimer a piece of chicken that was advertised as boneless. The question must be asked, does anyone really believe that the parents in this country who feed their young chicken boneless wings or chicken tenders or chicken nuggets or chicken fingers expect bones to be in the chicken? Of course they don't. Justice Michael P. Donnelly wrote in dissent, when they read the word boneless, they think that it means without bones, as do all sensible people. Thoughts?
Yeah. No bones, no nuts. Don't
Boneless
sign up for
chicken
Disney
wings
Plus.
Bones are just regular chicken. Yeah, agreed. Real estate company, it's just the tip. Let us rape you with it. No. All right. I know I'm going to shock the fellow host and perhaps even Mirage. Police post photos of suspects with Lego heads to protect IDs under new California law. Only been sitting on this since March.
It was then banned because they're all yellow and they didn't want to be
This has been the most racist podcast I think I've ever done, to be honest. I'm not racist. but the podcast itself has been quite racist by virtue of acknowledging the Papa Squats, the black samurais who are gay, and now the yellow Lego men, right? Getting arrested is no child's play, except for these California cops. The Murrieta Police Department has been posting hilarious arrest and lineup photos with suspects' faces replaced by Lego heads to comply with a woke state law. Fucking New York Post is based with a woke state law protecting offenders' rights. Images on the department's Instagram show the Lego blocks with a variety of facial expressions: crying, frowning, smirking, or raging, digitally superimposed onto the bodies of people being busted. One appears to show two people handcuffed in the back of the squad car, with the Lego face on one angrily looking at the other, whose toy head is crying. That's so good, right? Another shows 5 people in a lineup, completely unrecognizable because of the toy heads. The Photoshop-savvy law enforcement agency explained Monday that it is shielding detainees' faces to comply with a new state law prohibiting the release of mugshots and booking photos of those accused of nonviolent crimes. The law, signed by Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom last September and implemented on January 1st, also requires police departments to remove other mugshots from social media after 14 days. So do you think they had to remove all mugshots they've ever uploaded after 14 days? They had 2 weeks to do it? Or do you think that they mean that if a mugshot goes out, you have 14 days to remove it? Like, what do you think they mean?
I don't know.
You need to draw yourself a body. Where did your background come from, by the way?
It was the default.
Oh. You just seem like you're up to no good in the middle of the night here, outside of this thing that says, like, no fucking hands, right?
That's I was a criminal being caught.
Yeah, clearly. That explains why you have the reflection of the cops' lights rim lighting you.
Yeah.
All right. So the Murrieta Police Department prides itself in its transparency with the community, but also honors everyone's rights and protections as afforded by law, even suspects, the Post reads. In order to share what is happening in Murrieta, we chose to cover the faces of suspects to protect their identity while still aligning with the new law. How fucking great are these? Like, but the practice is nothing new for the Murrieta police. The agency has been obscuring suspects' faces for a couple of years now, also using emojis, Barbie dolls, and even Shrek characters.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they got him. They've got him here. There's the Barbie, and there's the Shrek. The guy happened to be wearing a Shrek shirt, and he was huge, so they just put Shrek on. Some of the reasons were the presumption of innocence until proven guilty in a court of law. The effects a post could have on an individual or their families outside of the criminal proceedings they may be subject to, public shaming, and some of it came down to workload. The department previously wrote, "Our goal is to keep, like, you don't have enough work to do, so you need to Photoshop these things on them now to not show them? Is that what you mean by the workload? Our goal is to keep our citizens informed on what is occurring in the city in which we all live, as well as the work the police department is doing on behalf of the citizens. The police department's use of Photoshop has divided social media followers." No, impossible. Fucking impossible. Everybody loved this. "These are so hilarious," one user gleefully remarked on the Lego booking photos. Another joked, "Those Lego people just seem to never learn." Many commenters, however, argued that shielding suspects' identities under the new state law essentially amounted to protecting criminals. Well, they don't have a problem with the freaking thing That's not a problem with the police department. That's a problem with fucking Gavin Newsom. The point of the mugshot is that people know who is dangerous, you idiots, one user seethed. Why not just stop arresting anybody? What good is it anymore? Another wondered. Fucking hell. So after this happened, the owner of Babylon Bee said, I'm firing all of my Babylon Bee writers for not coming up with this before it became a reality. Then, not the Bee, said, Lego is demanding California cops stop using their brick heads to replace criminals' faces on social media. A few days ago, we told you about a California police department that, in an effort to comply with Governor Newsom's regulations and have a little fun, replaced the heads of perps in social media photos with Lego heads. The results were hilarious. I thought it was funny. You thought it was funny, but not everyone thought it was funny. Particularly, Lego did not find it funny. Hey, look, Jack Pasovic. Lego asked California cops to stop masking suspect photos with Lego heads. We just can't have anything fun anymore, can we? Lego reached out and politely asked the Murrieta Police Department to stop using their copyrighted Lego materials for funny purposes. For some reason, Lego doesn't want to be associated with criminals. The Lego group reached out to us and respectfully asked us to refrain from using their intellectual property in our social media content, which of course we understand and will comply with. We are currently exploring other methods to continue publishing our content in a way that is engaging and interesting to our followers as they move on to the Bratz dolls, the My Little Ponies. Well, it was fun while it lasted.
Put dog faces on them.
Yeah, definitely don't put gorilla faces on them. That would be racist. The department is now going to have to find another way to hide the faces of perps, probably with emojis or something dumb like that. At least we still have the memories. What? That's it? Fuck, God damn it, I was hoping there would be more. All right. We got one more. Mirage is responsible for all of these. Rioter who waved penis at police officers, jailed. You can't fucking do anything anymore. Like, this is a totalitarian dictatorship that'll throw you in the slammer for a little wigglies.
He's just you got to do it on Pride Day. That's the only day you're allowed to do that.
So a man who exposed his penis to a line of police officers during mob violence has been jailed. Thomas Ward, 35, was also seen on social media footage throwing a plank of wood at police during unrest in Manchester's Piccadilly Gardens on the 3rd of August. Wow, fucking buried the lead, huh? It wasn't the penis. It was the plank of wood. It was the 2x4. Right?
It was the Disney Plus subscription.
Yeah. The father of 5 had deliberately targeted female officers when he waved his penis. Manchester Crown Court heard. The clash was part of a nationwide outbreak of unrest sparked by misinformation spread online after a stabbing attack in Southport, which left 3 children dead. I'm sorry. Where exactly is the misinformation? Ridiculous behavior. Ward of Colliery Street in Manchester appeared via video link from HMP Birmingham after previously pleading guilty to violent disorder and exposure. You know what? Fuck it. There's time. Where's my other window? What the fuck? How do I lose it so frequently? Oh, here it is. This is it? Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah, let me, I have something here just for this. Read comments or something while I look for this. God, you guys are really carrying the show tonight. Holy fuck.
Lego did respond to this. We got that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I expect bone. Do you expect bone from your hamburgers? I don't. Pulled pork, if if I had a pulled pork sandwich, I might kind of be wary about it. But if it was done at a restaurant, I would feel more inclined to trust that it had no bones in it. I think they had to put up the no touching sign because bar hopping drunk woman would try to touch Spider-Man's butt. Oh, in my background. Yeah.
Oh.
Gotta you know, bat all those crazy people away.
Battle the butt touchers.
Yes, I expect bone as birds and mammals have bones.
Yes.
But boneless chicken doesn't have bones, so
Shouldn't have.
Do boneless animals have bones? No.
Since it's 2 a.m., wherever Random 11 is at, and that's last call at the bar, and the bar's closed. Yes.
Technically, it's 1 a.m. Where Random 11 is at. But
well, last call is at 1 a.m., I believe. Well, I think they extended it during COVID, but I think I don't know what the current
extended
status
it
is
during
now.
COVID.
I believe so. I think there was one bar that was like open until like 6 in the morning. I don't know what the current law is though now about it.
I'm having a hell of a time finding this thing. I'm running out of windows to look in, so I've got to be getting close. Fuck's sake, man.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for something that isn't relevant anymore now. There's holy shit. Okay, where could this fucking window be?
Oh, sorry. It is 2
here.
a.m. It's 1:45 a.m. is last call, according to Wikipedia. I don't know. I thought it was.
Ah, fuck! It's behind the window I'm screen sharing. God damn it! No wonder I couldn't fucking find it. Okay, hold on.
Wow. Why do we have me up here?
Oh, what? It's not. Fucker, I closed it.
You just suck at this.
I do suck at this. I had an awesome juxtaposition of two articles relating to the Birmingham.
They ground
I
bone
found something
in
else
burgers as filler, plus bone has nutrients. Yeah, but would you expect a whole bone, like a chunk of bone, in your hamburger? That like a pokey part that you could like die on?
Die.
Sashimi is boneless at best. Those are good. Yeah, what if you get a bone? Like fish have bone. If you eat sashimi, you don't expect a bone in your sashimi.
Fish bones are fucking suck, dude.
Bones aren't as bad as fingers and canned
fish
chili.
for that reason. Okay, I am.
If you order chicken fingers, then maybe you will get some fish fingers. The guy didn't get a chunk. He didn't even know till the health effect. Well, it was like a sliver. That's what they claimed. The doctor found a sliver or whatever had gone in, like ruptured part of his throat, right?
Yes.
Some fish are boneless. Maybe jellyfish are bone. I think jellyfish are boneless. Although I don't know if they count as fish.
I'm now looking in my bookmarks.
I think we could just
yeah, we're going to have to holy
abort
shit.
mission here and wrap up.
I'm just
sharks have teeth. Teeth are bones. They have jaws. Jaws are bones. Years ago, there were stories of workers losing appendages and they end up in Chile.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
plants are notoriously dangerous. There was if I remember correctly, there was a story of a person that had like brought someone's finger to a Wendy's, ordered the chili, and tried to claim that the finger was in her chili at Wendy's, but they somehow proved that she brought the finger.
That she took it out of her purse and stuck it in the chili?
I think so.
Where did the finger come from?
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to move this to this window over here. And then we're going to look at this one. And we're going to say, nope, it wouldn't be in games news. We're going to move that over here. It's not in this one. Move that over here.
Sharks' jaws are bone. I don't think it's cartilage. Like you can see the big on the wall, like the jaw with all the teeth. Teeth are not cartilage, that's for sure.
All right, I give up. I'm sorry, I fucked this up.
I mean, I am trying to pull a technicality here. I don't know if there's other bones, but
there are other bones, the kind in your dick.
I would argue jaw and teeth count as bones.
All right, I have failed you. I have failed you in ways that I should not be allowed to continue doing this, he says while scrolling really fast to the last place he didn't look yet. Knowing full well that he's failed and no one will ever trust him again.
It's just abort mission on this.
Fucking find.
You'll find it after we're done with the show.
Yes, no, that's gonna suck ass. I'm gonna kill myself over it. Fucking goddamn it. Ah. No, not that. Nope. All right. Well, fuck. Sorry. Don't have it. Sorry, I failed you. I deserve to be fired. I'll submit my resignation.
Bye. I'm sorry. I had to. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I had to.
All right.
I guess nobody else thought that was funny.
Fuck. I'll find it later. All right. Verity Quate, defending, told the court Ward had been lashing out. Is that what you call it when you whip out a penis real fast? On the day after being told his father was terminally ill. Ward could be seen making the sign of the cross, as Miss Quate described how he was unlikely to see. I like the idea that he's doing one of these. He's like, and then his hand goes down and he whips out the dick, right? I like this headcanon. The court heard he had 123 offenses on his record. For like one for each cop who saw. Judge Patrick Field, KC, said it was fortunate no one had been hurt when he launched the plank. It's fortunate no one got hurt when he showed his dick to them. Like, I'm thinking of a plank of wood to refer to something else. Furthermore, you decided it was appropriate to expose your penis to the line of police officers, he added. You waved it about, clearly intending to cause alarm, distress, and disgust. It perhaps aptly demonstrates how ridiculous your behavior was on this occasion. Ward was jailed for 2 years and 8 months. Earlier in the same court, a man who had never been in trouble with the police before was jailed for 20 months for a violent disorder. Okay. Judge Field said he had been handed a legion of testimonials praising Graham. Who the fuck is that? The 42-year-old man had been caught on camera hurling a pint of cider at police officers and later kicking out at one during the Piccadilly Gardens disorder. Tim Story, defending, said his client's life was characterized by stability and described him as community-minded and not a racist man. Listen, lady, I'm not a racist. I'm a flasher. Like
everyone can get this dick.
Judge Field said there was no reasonable answer as to how Brooks had become involved in this sort of nasty, brutish public violence. The man who threw an e-cigarette at a hotel for asylum seekers was jailed for 2 years and 2 months. Later, you are focusing far too much. I just want to know about Penis Guy. Fuck's sake, we have to pick a different SpongeBob. I can't end it here. This is awful. No.
So I just, while you're looking for more ways to kill the podcast, I looked it up. They don't have bones. The sharks don't have bones. The jaws are made out of cartilage that is strengthened by calcium salt. So yes, I guess you are correct. They do not have bone. Although I would not want to get a sliver of cartilage strengthened by calcium salt in my shark fin soup. May hurt going down.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I am now going to request the co-hosts council. Would you guys rather talk? No, not. We'll save that. Yeah, we'll save that one too. Oh my God, Mirage! How do you have so many good ones? Okay, fucking hell. Okay, what do we got?
The
here?
short
CNN.
one. Whatever the shortest one is. Let's go. We're at last call.
Okay, let's do this one. Let's do this one.
I'm curious about the turtle one just for the sake that I'm here.
You want to do the turtle one because you're here?
Sure.
Fine. You get what you wish. All right. It's a good one. You just gave me 2 excellent follow-ups. I thought, well, we gotta wait. We gotta wait and do them together. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. British woman in Tenerife found with turtle in vagina after a night out party. I mean, that's much better than what we just read, right? The 26-year-old who went to an emergency room after complaining of pain in her genital area has no memory of what could have happened.
I had to scrape the bottom of the barrel to find this article, by the way.
Did you do this because I asked about it last podcast?
No, I didn't even know you asked about it.
Would you ask about it?
Last podcast, I specifically said, when do women, what are the articles about women shoving stuff up their vaginas? Because we kept covering a bunch of stuff about guys shoving stuff up their ass.
It's happening. It's happening. Oh, boy. We're going to get them all out tonight then. All right. An emergency room doctor in a hospital in Mollón de Arona in the south of the Canary Island of Tenerife could not believe what he was seeing when, on Saturday, he attended to a British woman who was complaining of strong pains in her genital area. When the doctor examined her, a foreign object was found in her vagina. A dead Chinese pond turtle.
Ugh.
I don't know if I'm more or less concerned with the fact that it was dead. Do you think it died up there? To the audience who couldn't see that, Random 11 just stopped, muted himself, and went, fuck. Unmuted himself. I don't know if I assume it was fuck. It could have been. Her body count now includes the turtle. I bet she won't have amnesia with this one.
Turtle power.
Given the bizarre nature of the situation, the doctor called the police. Look, I don't know if it's illegal, but it should be, so I'm going to call the cops. Called the police, who took a statement from the 26-year-old. She explained that she had gone out partying in the area of Fanabe Beach, but could not recall what had happened that night. Sources close to the case have told El Pais, is that the name of the, it's the article, that the main theory is that the reptile was inserted into the woman's vagina, either by herself or by someone else, given that it is impossible that it could have ended up inside her body any other way. You don't know. Oh, you don't fucking know.
It was Shredder. He planned it all
stuck
along.
a mouse in her vagina, and the turtle decided to eat it and found it quite warm and went all the way in. You don't fucking know. The woman has so far chosen not to file a complaint and has not confirmed whether or not she could have been the victim of sexual assault. Police sources have told the EFE news agency the police suspect that this may have been the case. Oh, yeah. Sources have told El Pais that the main theory is the reptile was inserted into the woman's vagina either by herself or by someone else. Yeah. An analysis of the dead turtle revealed that it is a freshwater species, usually sold in pet shops. The specimen found inside the woman's body was a baby, but they can grow up to 18 centimeters in length once mature. The police have closed the case, although the public prosecutor in Santa Cruz de Tenerife has begun collecting evidence, in connection with the case, and said that legal action is not being ruled out yet. At the same time, an investigation has been opened at the Nuestra Senora de la Candelaria Hospital after a photo of the dead and bloody turtle began to circulate via WhatsApp. The photo has been published by several media outlets. Well, where the fuck is it? Show me the photo, you bitch. Come on. Unbelievable. I feel cucked. I hope there's another one coming up that will provide me with greater closure. A maid who hid $5,002 stolen from her employer in her vagina has been jailed. Singapore. She stole more than $8,000 in cash from her employer and hid part of the money in her vagina. A total of $5,002 of the stolen sum was recovered after the maid underwent a body scan while in Changi Women's Prison. She had hidden the money in a sanitary pad and a plastic bag before placing it inside her vagina. I'm trying to picture like how you would even do that. Like inside of a sanitary pad. Like, see, like they say it's a sanitary, but they also claim it's inside. That tells me like she took like the applicator for like the tampon. She like rolled up the cash and kind of hid that in there and then whoop, right? That's the only way it makes sense.
I like that. Imagine that's the exact sound it made going in.
Yes, of course.
And out was just cha-ching.
Bayo Nelgilian Bobida. Oh, God. A 28-year-old Filipino was jailed 16 weeks after she pled guilty to 2 counts of theft as a servant. Bayo was employed by Lee C. Boon, a 69-year-old Singaporean, giggity, for about 1 year and 2 months when she committed the offenses. On the 22nd of February this year, the maid was cleaning the house when she decided to steal from her employer. She went into Lee's room to search for valuables. She found a small bag containing a safe key and a piece of paper with the PIN number of the safe on it. Well then, you deserve to be robbed, didn't you, you dumb shit? Bayo managed to unlock the safe and stole $3,000 in cash. She remitted half of the sum 2 days later and remitted the remaining sum on the 3rd of March at Lucky Plaza to the Philippines. Okay. On the 6th of March, the maid was performing her household chores when she again decided to steal from Lee, as she was in financial difficulty. Again, so soon? She again unlocked the safe with the same pin and made off with $5,002 in cash. Lee discovered that the money was missing on the same day and made a police report. Bio was arrested on the same day. Bio was charged with the offenses 2 days later and sent to Changi Women's Prison. At about 9 p.m. that evening, a body scanning process revealed the foreign object in her vaginal cavity. Great. Well then, you go to Old Doc. I think I also closed this tab instead of putting it in Old Doc. Okay, now last one. Surely this will be the most wild, given that. Oh dear. FLA. What is that?
Florida.
Florida.
Is that Florida?
Yeah.
Florida jail finds crack pipe in woman's genitals during booking. Tiffany Flores was originally arrested for possession of cocaine. Yeah. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. A Florida woman went to extreme lengths to hide her drug paraphernalia while being booked in jail. You know, it's a good way to hide it. Can I use the restroom? And then get rid of it. Right? A bad way to hide it is to take it into jail with you. Right? The New York Daily News reports that Tiffany Flores, 23, was found to have a crack pipe hidden in her vagina as she was scanned while being booked into the Indian River County Jail. Indian, huh? Flores, who had been arrested Tuesday during a traffic stop for possession of cocaine, originally claimed that she was able to undergo a body scan because she was pregnant. Or unable to undergo a body scan because she was pregnant. Good. Devious liar, this woman. But after a pregnancy test came back negative, she went through the scanner, which found a foreign object located inside her vaginal area. According to the police report, Flores said the crack pipe belonged to the friend she was driving with at the time of the traffic stop, and she hid the item in her vagina to avoid it being found during the vehicle search. After the incident, Flores was booked on additional charges of introducing contraband into a detention facility and tampering with evidence. She reportedly remains jailed with bond set at $11,000. All right. Well, that's as good as we're going to get tonight. Sorry. I like to think that if I had been able to find the Birmingham tweet, that things would have gone this way. Sadly, I was unable. How are you guys doing and thinking about Mashal?
I watched it when it aired. I'm not rewatching it.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Although I am enjoying it, it's not what I want it to be. What about you, Reese?
It's too Harry Potter. It's like too dead on.
I actually think that's its greatest strength, is that it is Rock Lee Goes to Hogwarts, and I love that. Right?
I like calling it Harry Squatter, the boy who lifted.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get the chat. Cool to T says it did die up there. Nuxie said absolutely it died up there. Headcanon is all that matters, right?
Dang.
The reason you don't see women with this is the organ is made to take things in and let things out. It's rare to get things stuck. Well, way to be so matter of fact about it and make us all look like idiots. But I guess it is true. Because it's designed to take things in and let things out, you would expect that occasionally it takes something in that gets stuck. Right? I don't know.
Imagine having a gag reflex. It's like you yak it out.
Oh no.
Oh.
Well, I apologize that we have to end the show off that. Donatello died of snooze. All right. So, I am happy to alert you guys to the fact that this has been a 3.5-hour show. And I expect this weekend to have an even better show. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. I currently don't know what to end the show with.
Don't stick foreign objects up your ass.
I meant like a video. But that's great. That is a good.
We should make an AI PSA. Don't stick things up your ass or your urethra or whatever.
Yep. All right, everyone.
I want to pitter patter all over your tits.